guys. So in today's live, I wanted to show you how you could set up your own herbal apothecary with a lot of plants and herbs growing around you to be prepared for any sort of like natural disaster situation or natural disaster scenario. So I wanted to just bring out a bunch of the herbs that I need to go ahead and tincture for myself and add to my own family's apothecary and show you how to do it. It's really easy. It doesn't take a lot of effort. It just takes a lot of waiting because you have to wait for it to get done. But other than that, it's a very simple process that you can definitely do yourself, and so I want to show you how to do it. And I'll go one by one through every single herb, and then you can see how to do it yourself and how you can make your medicine last longer. So what's the point of this whole thing? Why would I want to turn, my yarrow into a medicine? Well, you can turn it into tincture, and then you'll be able to use yarrow whenever you want if you're dealing with a bleeding issue, like an internal bleeding issue, because yarrow stops internal bleeding, and so that'd be something, and a reason why you'd want to have a yarrow tincture on hand is so someone could easily take that tincture and their bleeding would stop. That would be a reason to have yarrow on hand. So you're not just going to tincture like flowers if you don't know how to use them or something poisonous. You're going to tincture something if you're aware of how to use it and you want to have it ready when you need to use it. So it's just preparation in advance for something that could happen. And a lot of the herbs that I use here, like white willow bark is another one, they can be used to replace your everyday pharmaceuticals if those are not readily available in a disaster scenario. If you're like me and my family, we don't use those on the day-to-day basis anyways, so we like to have these sorts of remedies and natural solutions on hand. So we're going to go ahead and get started, and I'm just going to teach you how to make each and every one of them, and then they're going to be sitting in jars like this for about 6 weeks, okay? You're going to keep them sitting in jars for 6 weeks. In fact, I've got some I've already done before, like speaking of white willow bark, this is a white willow bark tincture that I made before, and you can just keep it in your cabinet and let it steep and macerate. That's called a maceration process. You're going to shake it every day, and then eventually you can strain it, and you can take it by the dropper full for you and your family. It's a really easy way to make natural medicine, and I hope you join me and stick around. Speaking of, my top two viewers for the day are each going to get one of these little tincture gift baskets that I made. They're just kind of like every tincture thing you could need to tincture, so it's got like a little funnel. You're going to see metal's the best. I have a little basket of goodies inside of it that they would need to tincture. Some little jars. I've got an herb, a little set, cheesecloth, lots of just cool things I would use to tincture and I use every day to tincture. So my top two viewers, I'm going to send you one of those today, so hopefully you stick around and watch. There's a lot of herbal medicine to be made. Okay, so here we go. Alright, so I'm going to get started just on the tincture. Like I said, tincture is a way to naturally preserve medicine for a long period of time. They're shelf stable. They last forever if you use the correct menstruums that I'm going to use today. A menstruum is just the liquid that you're going to be combining with your plant material in order to pull out the medicinal value of the plant and make it last longer, okay? Today I'm going to be using a vodka menstruum, and you can use any sort of alcohol menstruum that's at least 80 proof alcohol. If you use a higher proof of alcohol, you're going to have to cut it, okay? That's going to be too strong for your tincture, so make sure 80 proof is kind of where it's at. Brands don't matter. I like to get the cheapest one possible. Just make sure that it doesn't have any flavoring in there. You're not looking for something flavored, and you're not looking for something that is mostly flavored. Nothing flavored. All right, and 80 proof and above. Okay, this is a very, very simple process, which is why I want to show you how to do it so you can do it for you and your loved ones whenever you might need this solution handy and on hand and ready to go, okay? We are going to start with an echinacea tincture. Now, echinacea, once I find it for you. So this is echinacea. This is dried echinacea. The tinctures that I'm going to be using today are all made out of dried herbs. Echinacea is an all-around immunity booster, okay? It's great for the immune system. It's got immune modulating effects, great for autoimmune diseases. It also has a little bit of pain relieving properties because it is an analgesic, but echinacea is where it's at when you're looking at the immune system. So I would love to have this on hand as just a daily boost to the immune system, and just to be able to have that in case there was any sort of funk or gunk going around. I knew that I could take my echinacea tincture and my immune system would be killing it. There's actually studies that show in Chernobyl, some of the families that lived right around Chernobyl, that Russia incident, they actually did not get sick, or basically the radiation poisoning didn't kill their immune system like it killed everyone else's, and that's because they had a very strong immune system. So immune system being strong can help you stay safe in any sort of disaster. So that's even a really bad disaster, okay? So what you're going to need is a mason jar. I've talked about any size, doesn't matter. I'll show you how to make it using one size or any size, so just stick with me here. It is a science, but it's not an exact science, all right? It's not like baking, and if you just are off by a little bit, you're going to screw it all up. These are natural herbs that were put here for a reason, and they're naturally able to work with our body in a harmonious way, okay? All right, so get your jar. Any sort of funnel, I like them metal, plastic, everything sticks to it, no good. You're going to pour in your dried herb. If you're using dried herb, you're going to pour it in halfway full, whatever container you're using, halfway full, okay? It's an estimate, people, halfway. All right, hopefully you can see that. Maybe a little bit more. The more you use, the more you're kind of wasting your herb. You're not hurting anyone or hurting anything. You're just kind of wasting your herb, all right? Halfway full. If you are using fresh herb, which I thought I'd seen a question, maybe not. If you're using fresh herb, 3/4 of the way full, okay? And you want to make sure, the reason I like to use dried herb is because I don't think that, actually I know, it's less likely to spoil, okay, when you're using a dried herb, because if you use a fresh herb, sometimes, depending on the menstruum you use, like if you use a glycerin menstruum, if you use too much glycerin or something, you could get spoilage inside of your herb, okay? And that's because there's extra moisture inside that herb, and that could cause spoilage. So I like to keep it dry when I'm tincturing, and then I don't have to worry about spoilage. Another great thing to not have to worry about spoilage is using the vodka, the alcohol menstruum like we talked about, okay? So the more you use that, the less you have to worry about spoilage as well. So let's keep it on the safe side, so in hopes to keep the shelf life really far up and last a long time, okay? All right, so I've got half my jar halfway full. It's generously full, let's be honest there, generously full. I'm gonna get my vodka, and there's kind of an annoying little topper it has on it. You can just pop that off with scissors. So you're gonna fill it up. I'm gonna need a little more vodka. So they're kind of gonna look at you like you're a lunatic at the grocery store when you walk out with all the vodka you're gonna need for tincture. But to each their own. All right, so here's another bottle. Again, I've already popped off that little annoying thing at the top. Pop that off with scissors. Okay, now I've filled, you can see. Make sure you have lots of towels on hand. I have tons of towels over here. And I have lots of towels over here. You should see my little workspace. I'm kind of spread out, but lots of towels, okay? And you know what? Before I go any further... Oh, no, I do have it. Okay, never mind. We're good. Okay, so you can see I filled it up to about an inch left on the lip. It's kind of like canning. You're going to keep filling till you have a little bit less than an inch to go. There you go. That gives me about an inch of head space. I'm going to put my lid on really tight. I just use like a canning jar lid if you're familiar with it. It has that coating on the inside because you do not want to worry about rust, okay, you guys? And you'll have to, it could rust on you if it's just that exposed metal, especially when you use a vinegar menstruum like we're going to do later on. It could rust for you, okay? So make sure you have that coating on there. Okay, so that's my old one. That's white willow bark. Okay, here's my echinacea. So this, I've got it lid on. I'm just going to give it a few tosses. If you're wearing jewelry like me, it might be one of those jingling times for you. Okay, then you're going to open it back up. This is with all dried herb tincture. Take a look at. Now, instead of the bubbler like you'd use with canning, the debubbler, you're just going to add more vodka. All right? So add more vodka to fill it up. Okay, get it all the way full. You're going to want to make sure that nothing's around the ring to make it to where you can't close it all the way. It doesn't have to be sealed like you would seal in a canning process or like a water canning or any sort of canning. Nothing like that. But I want to make sure the lid's all the way down on it. That's why I say that, okay? All right, then you're going to give it another shake. And this tincture is pretty much ready to go, people. Pretty much ready to go. Now, I made a boo-boo. I didn't grab my labels, so you're going to have to bear with me 1 second while I grab labels. Check out the herbs. Be right back. Labels are so important. number one important. Make sure you have a lot of them. Okay, the labels I like to use, I use Avery. You can use whoever you want. It doesn't matter. I don't get sponsored by them. It doesn't help me, just as long as it helps you. Label all your products. So now that I've made my echinacea tincture, and I say I've made this, I mean I'm 90% of the way done with this thing. Now I just, like I said earlier, I'm going to want to let this sit in a dark, cool place for at least 6 weeks. Okay, every day I'm going to go in, I'm going to shake it just like this, and then I'm going to let it sit there. All right, that's the hardest part. When it's done, you're going to strain it, and at the end of the video, I'm going to be straining the white willow bark tincture that is ready to come out, and so we can do that together at the end of the video. But right now, I've just made an echinacea tincture, so the next thing I've got to do is I've got to label it. So the most important things to put on your label, guys: the name of the tincture, for us, echinacea tincture. Echinacea, E-C-H-I-N-A-C-E-A, if you're asking about it. Echinacea tincture. You're going to put the menstruum you used. I used a vodka menstruum. Okay, so I'm going to put vodka menstruum. Remember, the menstruum's the liquid that you use to pull out the medicinal value of the herb itself, okay? So I used a vodka menstruum, and then the date that I made it, which is today. Is today the 25th? 26th? Let's see. I think it's the 26th. No one's put a note. Has anyone even put a note? Let's see. I don't even check to see if there are any questions. If there's questions, let me know. I'll hit you up. What are we making? We are making tincture. Thank you. What can I take for energy? Maca root. In fact, I'm going to make a maca root tincture later on for male energy specifically. Maca root's fantastic. Let's see. What are we making tincture? Sorry about that, guys. I'll get with these comments as they keep coming. Have I missed any more? Can I make a gluten-free version? Yes, definitely. You can 100% make a gluten-free version. The different types of menstruums you can use are, you can use a vodka menstruum or any sort of alcohol menstruum that's at least 80 proof. You can use a glycerin. You can use any sort of vinegar when it comes to rice wine vinegar. You can use apple cider vinegar. You can use all sorts of vinegars. You want to keep them with the mother in there, because the more they have the mother in there, the better they're more able to pull out the nutrients and the natural value and mineral contents that you're going to find inside, vitamins and mineral contents that you're going to find inside of these herbs. Okay, so you can use all sorts of those, and you can dibble and dabble and find one that works for you and see how you like it. Okay, did I get there? Okay, I hope I got... Thanks for the gifts. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Ms. Roxy, appreciate you. You're so sweet. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You guys, thank you so much. You've been loving on me, and I haven't even been knowing. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Well, I hope you're enjoying. I'd love to keep going. Ask me questions as we go. Let me scroll down to the bottom. And as we grow, because let's be honest, there's a lot of growing to do. And someone did say a question. Thank you, Gypsy Mom 01 126. Thank you, ma'am. That's the next thing I need. All right, so it is January 26th. 0126. And another thing that I like to put on there, this is just for my own herbal apothecary that I do with my family. You can do it however you want to do it. But the thing that I like to do is I like to also, on my little note at the end, is put what I made it for. Why did I make that? What did I intend to make that for? For this one, I'm going to put immunity. Do you want to know why I do that? One, we can't remember everything. And number two, guess who else uses these things? My husband and my kids, my family, all right? I'm not expecting them to be like, oh yeah, I'm looking for the echinacea tincture. No, I'm looking for the immunity tincture. Can someone point me in the right direction? So I like to put that on there, and hopefully it helps them as much as it helps me. So that's the next thing I would write, and I know I have questions, so let me pop back and grab them. Immunity. So I just put that on there. I'm going to pop it onto my jar. You can put it on the lid itself, or you can put it on the side. I do it both ways. Where these guys are going to sit, I want it on the side. There's my echinacea tincture. Boom shakalaka. It is done for now. Okay, now let me come back to some of these questions. So echinacea tincture. You are done. All right, so some of the questions I got asked, I know I saw them on there. Let me go back. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I made the white willow bark with peach vinegar. Okay. Okay. Was it naturally made peach vinegar? You know, like, did you make the vinegar from scratch with, like, peaches and water and all that, and that's how you did it? Then cool. I'm down with that. I love natural made vinegars. If you mean, like, you went to the store and you bought, like, a peach flavored vinegar that has, like, flavoring and stuff, I mean, experience, right? Experience is everything. You probably had a really fun experience doing it. I just would think maybe next time I wouldn't add that in there because I try to make it the most natural I possibly can. That's always what I'm thinking when I'm making these things. I'm always, if I could, I can. If I could still, distill my own vodka over here, which I can and should, then I should do that. So I'm always baby steps towards the most holistic life I can live, but it is simply that, baby steps, you guys. You cannot think about everything at one time, or it's overwhelming and we'll do nothing. Okay? But yeah, but that's really cool. I'm really glad you've done that before. Did it work for headache? I don't know if you put that on there, but I mean, did it work for headache? Because it should. White willow bark is so great for headaches. Anything with like aspirin, Tylenol, Advil, anything you'd usually use for that, white willow bark can do it for you. So that's why I like that. All right, let me scroll down. Hello. Hi, Devo. Hello. That was nice. Okay, can you take colloidal silver daily? You definitely can, but it's not highly recommended for immune system. You're looking at other things that are recommended for that. Echinacea is a great one. Look, we just made echinacea tincture. Boom. Daily immune system right here, echinacea. That's what I would recommend. Colloidal silver is fantastic for antibacterial, like any mucus, any coughing, anything like that. That's when you want colloidal silver. You're dealing with like bronchiolitis or bronchitis or asthma or something like that, that 100-day cough, colloidal silver it up. That's when you need it. That's when you should take it. Another thing you could take daily for immunity is colloidal copper, as I look at my own copper stuff behind me. Colloidal copper is fantastic. It's just copper water. Really good for the immune system. Actually really good for the brain, really good for the heart, really good at everything. So I'm going to take a drink. Great point. All right. I think I've answered some questions. 126. Thank you, Luz. Luz. Probably Luz. All right. Thanks, guys. Definitely enjoying. Thank you. Where do you get your dry herbs from? So, great point. So we sell a lot of our dry herbs at Grand Fan Farm. I used to, before we got the website up and running, check out grandfanfarm.com. It's a really great website. I sell my herbal remedies there. But we would forage and grow for most of the herbs that we would use. And then the products went bonkers in the middle of the winter and I needed a lot of herbs. So we used, there was a few different sourcers that we had. Who's my one I used all the time? Mountain Rose. Mountain Rose herbs is really good. So I used them a lot. And Frontier Co-op, that's the one I was trying to remember. Frontier Co-op is also really good if you're getting large bulk amount of herbs, which we definitely did. So if you have a store or you're getting ready to open your own store and you want a large bulk amount of herbs, I would check out Mountain Rose. And then the other one, Frontier Co-op. Pretty good ones. But if you want like a small supply for you and your family, we sell it at Grand Fan Farm. So check us out. We're really cool. Okay, I'm kind of biased. It's me. All right, let's see. Follow. So glad I stumbled to your page. Love this. Thank you, Ms. Roxy. Appreciate you. Followed Sunshine. Yes, homemade vinegar. Awesome. Good job. If it was homemade vinegar, I absolutely love that, Samantha. Love that. Homemade vinegar is so much fun. In fact, I made homemade apple cider vinegar last year. Loved it. We just finished it with the cows the other day. So should make some more, right? Do a video on that. Would you like a video on that? I don't know. That'd be fun. All right. It did. Good. Awesome. I'm so glad it helped with headaches. See, white willow's awesome. Hi, Dawn. What is good for migraines and headaches? Peppermint in general is great for migraines and headaches. That's one I always highly recommend. I actually have a headache tincture on my website, grandfanfarm.com. That's really fantastic. You're looking for herbs like chamomile, peppermint, more of the breathers, ginger. Those are the ones that I always recommend for headache. They work differently for each person. There's not like a one-size-fits-all headache herb for everybody, which is why I combine like 11 different herbs into one tincture for the one that I make at grandfanfarm.com. So check it out. Or make it yourself because my ingredients are on there and now you're going to learn how to tincture, right? Okay, how do I make the white willow bark? Let's do that one right now. Why not? I have my little list where I try to be, I'm going to go in my little order, but you know what? I feel like let's just go. All right, so white willow bark. Here's my white willow bark. If you're going to harvest white willow bark, I recommend doing it in the spring. Usually barks you're going to harvest in the fall, but for white willow bark specifically, it's an inner bark, what I used to say, and so you're going to want to harvest in the spring. That's my recommendation. And I like to kind of like pull and tear and cut bark when it's wet or fresh, if that makes sense, versus doing it. Sometimes when it's dry, it's easier, but it depends on the bark. It depends on how stringy it can get. Dry barks versus wet barks or fresh barks react differently when you're breaking them down. This is my hand chopping it down. So if I'm on the cutting board and I've got like a burdock root in there and I'm dealing with a root bark or a rooter, like a rootier plant, I want to break that down when it's wet. I don't want to wait till it dries, or I'm not going to be able to actually like cut it up like a carrot as thin as I'm going to want it. For a willow bark, you can wait until it dries, but I mean, as you'll see, this consistency, it gets pretty small. And so a lot of that I like to do when it's fresh and I can work it well. And then when it dries, when I lay it out to dry and break it down more, then I can really get in there and like grind it more. The more surface area you have is the better when you're dealing with herbal tincture in general and just like herbal making in general. You don't want to grind it down till it's this macerated powder all the time. You just can't even tell what plant material you're working with. It's not really something like that. It's more like giving an opportunity for as much of the menstruum to touch as much of the plant material as possible and pull out that medicinal benefit, okay? And you can do that by breaking it up and getting it into smaller chunky pieces. Okay, so white willow bark tincture. You're gonna need yourself some dried white willow bark. Dry when you're working with barks, okay? I'm an adamant for that. On other things, I'm like, oh, yeah, you can do some things fresh. With barks, I am adamant about keeping them dry, okay? Dry your barks, please, people. Especially when you're dealing with other barks that could have a toxic value in them, like if you don't dry them, okay? White willow bark. Okay, so I'm on Rebecca's. Rebecca, here we go, white willow bark. All right, so I've got my dried white willow bark. I'm going to get another container, glass jar, any size I want. It doesn't matter. New funnel. And I'm going to pour it in halfway, okay? Shake it in there, scoop it in there, do it however you want. Halfway. When I'm in there halfway, that one looks about a lot better. The other one was a bit more than halfway. Then I'm going to fill it. You know what? Now it seems kind of low. Maybe it's because I always over pour. I don't know. But I like to make sure that when I tell my family, go take the white willow bark for your headache, that I know it's going to work and I know that it has enough of the plant material in there and able to be effective after just one dose. So that's what I like to do when I'm making it. And like I said, an herbal apothecary is really easy to start, guys. You can just start it on your own and slowly build up your apothecary, and eventually you're like, oh wait, I do have something to treat headaches. Oh wait, I do have something to treat that eczema. Oh wait, I do have something that treats that itchy, bug bite or whatever it is, okay? Slow build up is key. Then you're gonna add your vodka, guys. I'm using a vodka menstruum. If you're making this for a child, you're gonna use your vinegar menstruum. And later on, we're going to make those, and they're called extracts, vinegar extracts. But right now, we're making tincture, and tincture is made with alcohol. I filled it up to where I've left a little bit of space. It's probably about 6 inches. I'm going to shake it up. And remember, this is going to be used as like any headache relief, any sort of thing you'd use for Advil, Tylenol, Motrin. I don't like any of that stuff. I believe that all of that stuff doesn't let your liver and kidneys excrete the toxins they're supposed to excrete from your body, and so it actually makes what you're dealing with worse. At least that's what herbalists believe and what herbalists say. I'm not a doctor. This is not medical advice. Now, I filled it up again, all the way to the top, and I'm going to shake it again. Okay, this is my white willow bark tincture. If you haven't been here for the whole thing, you're going to let this sit in a cool, dark place for 6 weeks, at least 6 weeks. You can let it sit longer. It'll be even better the longer it is. It's like fine wine. And then you're going to shake it every day and then let it sit. When you're all done, you're going to strain it out using cheesecloth or a sieve. I use cheesecloth and a sieve and a strainer. I sit strainer, cheesecloth, sieve on top, pour this in there, put it into another jar. We're going to be doing it at the end of this live. And then what you've strained out is your tincture. And you're going to take that by the dropper full, okay? Now, when you're taking herbal medicine and when you're working with herbal medicine, all recommendations are dependent on the weight of the person, okay? So general recommendations are dependent on a 150-pound person. That's kind of how we just broadly generalize for everyone, okay? So when you're taking white willow bark tincture, thinking about a 150-pound person, I'm going to recommend you take 1 to 3 dropper fulls per day. A dropper full is between 30 and 60 drops. You're going to see that wide variance, okay? It's not a science in the way that it's going to harm you if you're variant within that 30 to 60 drop mark, okay? Even within the 1 to 3 doses, herbal medicine is not like pharmaceuticals, guys. It's a lot more gentle on the body. It allows your body to receive it easier. you don't, and the only thing you need to worry about is not taking so much of this so you end up with being drunk off alcohol. Okay, that's why we like to say 1 to 3 dropperfuls per day. It stops it pretty quickly. Same thing with like my headache tincture that we use and we've made online. You should feel the relief from that. Shouldn't take days, anywhere near days. Should feel relief within 20-30 minutes. All right, it's very quick, very, very quick. Okay, so that's my white willow bark tincture. The next thing I do, you're gonna hear it from me a lot today, I label. Okay, so you write your label. You've got white willow bark tincture. Today's date, 1/26. I've got a vodka menstruum. And this one's for headache. Headaches, aches, and pain. Okay? That's what I've got on my label. I put my label. You can put it on the top or the front. I like to put them on the front because how I lay them in the cabinet and stack them beside each other in the cabinet, it's like doot. So I want to be able to look at it and kind of turn them like that when I look at it. So now I've got my echinacea one and my white willow bark tincture. Okay, let's keep going. Now, did I miss any questions? White willow bark, cool. Thank you. Something for gut issues. Yeah, neem's fantastic for gut issues. Depends on the kind of gut issues you're having. If it's something that's been happening for such a long time, your gut needs a cleanse. Colloidal silver is fantastic as your first start to cleanse your gut. But you really want to end up with something like a clove bud, a neem, a turmeric. Those are the ones right off the top of my head that I highly recommend. In fact, they eat neem balls over in India. It's just little balls of neem that are rolled up. That's a morning thing they do to get the digestive system going. And also, since I'm staring at my colloidal silver, colloidal gold, colloidal copper, what other colloidal gold or colloidal metal can I have around my home? It's great and fantastic for all of that digestive stuff and getting that going. I also did a digestive massage and I showed that on a YouTube video or a TikTok video, so you may want to check that out too. What do you suggest for UTI? Great question. Okay, so UTI, of course, the cranberry, which they always recommend. You're going to want to do the cranberry, but a burdock root is also extremely helpful for UTI. Burdock root is a great blood cleanser, and so it's going to help pull all that infection out. It's very, very good at that. In fact, which one did I use? Calendula, peppermint, clove bud. I actually just made one of these recently for a client. I said calendula, burdock, and dandelion. We did fantastic for UTI and really helped kind of flush everything out. So it was a good one. Good luck. And you can always message me. I give people advice all the time, one-on-one. What is good to take for fibromyalgia? So for fibromyalgia, we definitely recommend like a white blood cell boost and a white blood cell enhancement. And so you're going to be wanting to look towards more of the herbs that deal with that. Frankincense, myrrh, the astragalus root, alfalfa. Those are ones that are anything that kind of targets the liver is also going to target and be helpful for the white blood cells. Papaya leaf is another great one. It actually increases the blood platelet count inside your body. And so it's a great one to use when you're dealing with fibromyalgia. St. John wort's amazing too, but you want to be careful with all herbal remedies and make sure that you're not mixing any of them with pharmaceuticals, because pharmaceuticals can react negatively with herbal remedies just by the mere fact that herbs think it's poison in your body, and so it starts to fight it and help it to not do its thing. It is what it is. That's just what happens. Okay. Fibromyalgia, Crater, if you don't speak in dosages, you don't know what you're saying. I'm so sorry. Hopefully exhaust us. Hopefully ask me this more specific question. I'll be able to help you out. Overuse of colloidal silver can turn you gray, right? Not true. Colloidal silver itself cannot turn you gray, but I have to be careful talking about it because TikTok likes to censor my content when I do that, and I don't want to get kicked off live at all. But no, that's not been proven accurate. It has been proven accurate that really bad products do really bad things to you, and so watch out for really bad product makers. People that make products that aren't like pure silver and distilled water, watch out for them, you guys. It can have really bad side effects on your body. But no, silver and the receptors that your body has for silver are able to clear that silver out of your body. It easily passes through. Back in the day, they made silverware. All their eating ware was made out of silver. They did that because it was antibacterial, antimicrobial, and antifungal, and they realized that they weren't getting sick by things such as the plague or the flu or lots of other little things like that. So silver came in handy for those that could afford it, and for those that couldn't afford it, didn't come in very handy. They couldn't use it. And so it's been kind of interesting to see how that has been flipped over the years to turn into this make you turn gray, the blue man syndrome, agria or whatever it is. It's interesting. Things that I've looked into about it don't seem credible at all, but Whatever. All right, that's not what this show's about, so hopefully that helped you. Some comments in the live were filtered. Hopefully that helped. Hi, first time here. Hi, Sherry and Seven. Appreciate you having you. Welcome, welcome. The medical medium Anthony William has the truth. Okay, thank you. What to use for an ulcer? So for ulcer, depends on where the ulcers are. You're going to want to be looking for things in your body that can really help out with the throat and really help out with digestion. So calendula is always a go-to for me. Mullein, really look for things like that. I don't know where your ulcer is in your mouth, but also colloidal silver is great for mouth ulcers. If you're dealing with like mouth tooth pain, you're going to want clove bud or something like that, but we can talk more about it. Okay. A lot of herbalists use Mountain Rose. Thanks, Samantha. I use Rotten Rose too. Awesome. Thanks, Doris. What do you suggest? Okay. Am I going backwards? Sorry. What herbs for migraine headaches? Okay. So I think I've actually got to everybody. Okay. So now let's go on. What is good to raise estrogen other than red clover? Black cohosh. Black cohosh is fantastic for raising estrogen levels other than red clover. Red clover is also really great though. And so is evening primrose. So if you're looking for ones that are really, really good to target, all of that menstrual system and the menstrual cycle, they're really good. In fact, I was going to make a black cohosh tincture. I have black cohosh somewhere. There we go. I was going to make a black cohosh tincture just to kind of target all the menstrual stuff and any sort of irregular periods or irregular bleeding that you could see if there was an emergency situation and have food. So we can go ahead and make that now if you guys want. I know I have 73 new messages, so I will try to get to all of them, but I'm not going to promise, but I really hope I do. Okay, so let's make this black cohosh tincture together. You're going to need dry black cohosh root. That's what it looks like. It smells very like musky and earthy. Very musky and earthy. You're going to take a mason jar of any size and you're going to fill it up halfway. Okay. After you've got it filled up halfway, if you're using fresh root, which I don't recommend, but you can do, you're going to fill it up 3/4 of the way, by the way. Okay, once you've got it filled up halfway, you're going to add straight vodka. You're just going to pour it on top. Make sure the vodka is 80 proof. Can you guys see that? Make sure the vodka is 80 proof vodka at least. If it's 100 proof vodka, moonshine, anything like that, you're going to have to cut it 50-50 with water. That's too strong for your clientele. Okay, so after you've got it to where maybe you have about a 1/2 inch left at the top, you're going to want to put a lid, as I find a lid. Get one from another jar. Shake it to get rid of the air bubbles. I say to get rid of them. Watch, you'll see them come out at the top. Shake it up. Now, when you're working with a root, you're not going to be able to use like a glycerin menstruum. I wouldn't highly recommend it. You can use, because it's not going to be able to pull out the medicinal value of the root as best as a vodka menstruum can. So if you have to use something like that, you're going to want to double steep, or make sure that you're letting it sit for double the time. Okay, that's what I like to say. Now after you've shaken it, you can already see the water's like musky and has already picked up a lot of that root just inside of it. I say water, the vodka. You're going to want to pour the rest up all the way to the top. Put your lid on. Maybe it's easier on the ground. Sorry, on the table. Not often am I pouring like up here doing it. Just on TikTok live, right? Okay, then you're going to shake it up again. Woo! I've kind of got, see? I must have had a dirty lip here. This is what happens if you have, see, I had something on my lips, so it allowed it to come right out. Lots of towels. Remember how I said lots of towels? Always have lots of towels. So if you get something on the lip of that jar, it's not going to allow it to seal all the way, and you're going to get a big mess. Okay, so let's try this again. You're going to put on your lid. And a ring. Oh! Gosh. And now you're going to shake. Okay. Now, black cohosh is really highly effective at like night sweats, hot flashes, any sort of menstrual symptoms like that. So a night flash, hot sweats, things like that. That's what you want to do. Make sure you put your label. We're going to let it sit for 6 weeks in a dark space, and we are going to shake it every day. Okay, then you're going to strain it out. That's your tincture. Don't forget your label. This is a black cohosh tincture. with a vodka menstruum. The date is 1/26. Hopefully I'm not, okay, there we go. 1/26. And then you're going to write the reason that you made it. So for me, the reason that I made this is going to be menstrual symptoms, PMS, things like that. Menstrual support. And then I'm going to add that sticker onto my jar. And boom shakalaka, we've got our third one. Okay? So now our third tincture is over here. In fact, we'll put them up here for now. And our apothecary is building and growing all the time. It is just booming right now. I'm excited. Let's see what else we've got. So I've got 99 new messages. Let's see if I can... Was that primrose? Yes. So primrose I didn't just do, but primrose is fantastic. Evening primrose root is really good for PMS. Yes, you can do it and tincture it in the exact same way. So make sure if you have primrose, just follow those instructions and tincture it the same way. Super easy. You should write a book with all this info. Thanks, Brittany! I'm actually going to do this thing for subscribers where I'm going to start a subscriber program where I'll give them my notes that I created for each class, because each class I've been creating notes, and then I'll send them those notes, and then they'll be able to get the notes with all the herbs that I use and the medicinal benefits each herb has. And then I thought eventually, and then I'll have my little recipes in there for them, and then eventually they could just compile those all together like a little book, and that's going to be a little subscriber thing I'm hoping to come soon, but that's just my idea. Thank you. Ooh, I like that. Thank you. Okay, so primrose is great for menopause, definitely, 100% great for menopause. Those spices, yeah, there are a lot of spices. In fact, a lot of culinary herbs are actually super medicinal herbs. So it's really weird that they actually were first given us to preserve the food. So we were given the culinary herbs so we can preserve the food. And then it preserves your body in the same way. So it can help with a lot of different bodily functions and regeneration of the body and a lot of different really cool stuff that we don't know about. So yeah, culinary herbs are just great for medicinal work. Okay, primrose root. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. You should do double blind tests for each plant effect. We should, and there are studies that do that. Would you use to clear your lungs? So to clear your lungs, there's a few different things that I would recommend. Elecampane root is fantastic for clearing your lungs. Really good for the respiratory system in general. In fact, we're going to make elecampane root, so I'll grab that one next. And mullein. The other one, of course, the star of the show is mullein. So we're going to make a mullein tincture and an elecampane root tincture. And let's do that right now because both are really good for the respiratory system. I should use like a highlighter on my notes to see what which ones we've done together and which ones we haven't. Mullein's on here somewhere. No need to worry about it. I know what they do. Okay, so mullein and elecampane. Here's elecampane. Mullein. Mullein must have been an extract I was going to do with the kiddos because it was all the way in the back. Okay, so hopefully you guys can see what I've got going on here. Alright, so for both of these tinctures, and we're going to make extracts later which are kids friendly, yes, I've talked about that, so that's coming. But for both of these tinctures, they're going to be made to use specifically on respiratory health, lung health, exfoliation of coughing, and different things like that, okay? So let's make them. I need to start putting my lids on my herbs here. Alright. So elecampane root, you can also use the leaves of elecampane. Great for respiratory health, something like bronchitis, whooping cough, anything like that, you're going to look to elecampane. Asthma, all those are elecampane. We're going to make a mono tincture, which is a tincture with only one herb inside, and the herb that we are going to use is elecampane root. That's what it looks like. Dried root, and we are going to fill it up halfway. Any jar you're using, no matter what the size, fill it up halfway with your herb material, your dried herbal material, plant material. Okay? Then you're going to fill it up the rest of the way with your vodka. And I might run out of vodka. We'll have to see. I might run out of vodka. I hope not. I always like to redo my apothecary. Just make sure that I have a bottle left in the background for the bottles that are currently in my apothecary. So I can grab one for you really quickly. I'll show you what the bottles look like that I keep over here. sorry, excuse me. That mullein really gets in the air and you're like, yeah, that's good. Okay, so these are the little herbal bottles that I have when I'm done. What do I have here? I have an eczema extract. This one's not labeled, so I'll have to do that. This is my own herbal family apothecary, and this is what they look like when they're done. So to get them there, I always like to make sure I have one of these in my apothecary and then a jar about this size waiting behind steeping. So I make sure me and my family never run out, and I like to give it to close friends, but it's not anything we sell on our website. Grand Fan Farm only sells specific things there. This is just my own herbal home apothecary. Okay, so after I filled it up, so this is my mullein for my coughs and my menstruum, my alcohol menstruum. Put it down on my towel. Put the lid and the ring on top of it, close it down tight, and then shake it up. Give it a nice shake. And open it again. Let the air out. Fill it with a tiny more. You don't want to leave any exposed plant material, you guys, because there's molding processes that take place with the need of oxygen and the insistence of oxygen. So if you leave that plant material in your jar, that extra air with that plant material that's not being touched by the vodka, especially if you're not shaking it, could mold on you. Don't do that. Don't work so hard and then have it mold on you. Okay, shake it all the way up. Now I've got my mullein tincture. All right, mullein tincture made. I'm going to add my label to it, and I'm going to put that I made this one for coughing, because this one in particular, I'm going to put respiratory system, bronchitis, coughing, different things like that, okay? But I will put coughing, so I remember. So we are doing mullein tincture, and we used a vodka menstruum, so I'm going to write that down. Today's date, 1/26, thanks to my girl who's giving it to me there. And then I'm going to put for coughing. Okay, we're going to let this one sit for 6 weeks, just like the other ones, in a cool, dark place. And then we will strain after 6 weeks. And the dose on this one, again, is 1 to 3 dropperfuls per day. 1 dropperful. If you're not really feeling it, again, tinctures aren't for kiddos. Tinctures are for adults. Elixirs are for kiddos, so they can have that kind of menstruum, okay? So the first ones we're doing are just for adults. Okay, let me check through some of the messages, and then we will move on to, actually, you know what? Let's go ahead and make our elecampane root really quickly, and then we'll check through the messages. So our next one for coughing is elecampane root. These are all herbs you can grow and forage for yourself, by the way. That's one nice thing about herbal medicine. You don't have to buy a lot of it. If you will just make it for yourself and your family and learn to forage for it, man, you got yourself a free enterprise going on. Okay, you're going to fill your cup halfway up with your elecampane root. You're going to notice that it's very easy to make tincture. It's just the act of gathering the ingredients and making it. It's very easy to make tincture. Okay? All right, fill it up halfway. Add my vodka on top. Elecampane root again. Oops, sorry. Okay. Bronchitis, whooping cough, asthma, all of that with elecampane. Elecampane and mullein, you're also going to notice a lot of herbs can treat a lot of the same things. It just depends on what herb works best with your body, which one your body likes. Everyone's bodies are so different. That's another reason why pharmaceuticals fail. There's no one size fits all. That's why there's tons of herbs that do different things all over the place. And you know, it's funny, the herbs that are growing near you are usually the herbs you should take. And it's weird also because herbs will grow differently on the year. Like sometimes a mullein will be really big one year, and then sometimes a marshmallow will be, or sometimes a burdock will just be huge, and you're like, that's weird. Maybe I should gather more of that this year. And then you usually end up needing it because like cold season's really bad or something. Okay, so I've got my elecampane. So trust the earth. It's been there a lot longer than we have, right? Okay, so my elecampane is all shooken up. It looks like this right now. They look even better when they're, after they've sit there and macerated for weeks. They look even better. They smell different. It's really cool. Some of them look like milk. Like I have an eczema and psoriasis tincture that I sell online. And when you, or an extract, it's not a tincture, it's an extract for children. And when you take this thing out, it's like milk. Milk looking. It's weird. Really weird how they do it. Always make sure you're shaking a tincture before you're taking it. So like you'd shake it up in your little jar. And then you take out like your dropper full. Okay, so it'd be like, and this for me would be a dropper full even though it went halfway up. Because it's as high as the dropper will go. That's where I do confuse people a lot, where I say 30 to 60 drops. It's as high as the dropper will allow you to, as much as it will allow you to pull out. Okay, and that's one dropper full, 30 to 60 drops. Okay, so I've made my Ella Campaign tincture. I'm going to go ahead and put a label on my Ella Campaign tincture. Now, Ella Campaign is ELECAMPANE, I'm pretty sure, people. And then I'll look at these messages. I feel like I have some questions. And a vodka menstruum. 1/26 is the date. And put the year. Oh my goodness, you guys. Put the year. That's one of the worst things. Put the year. I tell myself all the time. I caught myself doing that one year. I did not put the year. I have tinctures probably around maybe 2018, 2019, but no year on them. So it's like a 2019 question mark? 2018 question mark? But I know the month and the day. Okay. Don't forget the year. All right, so so I did my Ella Campaign. And my Ella Campaign, I want to do this one for coughing, asthma, bronchitis. All right? Because it was the root. Coughing, asthma, bronchitis. And all of this is on my label. Beautiful handwriting onto my Ella Campaign. Now, people that say to me, why do you label? Don't you think over time you're going to start remembering what these are? And shouldn't you know what the herb looks like? Yeah, definitely, when it's in its herb form. But, like, when it's in tincture form, no, I have no clue. I don't even know. Like, you can look at it and be like, yeah, it looks like maybe you'll see a lavender in there or, like, a hyssop or something like that. But it's funny when people say that. You're going to forget. Make sure you label. Labeling's so important. Okay, let's check out some of these comments, you guys. What do you use to clear your lungs? I just saw that right off the bat. So, of course, I'm going to go with the Mullein. Mullen's super good to clear your lungs. Get that all out. Use Mullein. Colloidal silver is also great if you have that close by or have any way to get that. You should do, okay, so we read that one. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks, Sherry. Thanks, Devo. Good idea. How large are your tinctures? So the tinctures are different. The tinctures that we make and sell online are about 2 ounces. I do have some tinctures that are only 1 ounce. It just depends on the tincture that we're making. It really depends on how much you and your family are going to use it. You might find that you're going to make one for you that is going to be in a 4-ounce bottle because you guys really need all that. I like to let them steep as long as they possibly can. If I can keep from straining out a tincture and I can continue to let it macerate in this form here, I will. And so I only strain out what I need, and that's usually about a 2 ounce, and 2 ounces of tincture, depending on the tincture, are going to last you a long time. Unless you're taking tincture for like a chronic illness or a chronic disease or a chronic issue, that's what I should say, a chronic issue, such as cancer or lymphatic system blockages, enlarged breast issues, they work quick, guys. Tinctures work quick. Herbal medicine works quick. So you won't need it for as long as you think you do. Now, if you've never used it before, you're going to need to clean out your system a little bit before you're able to get the full effects of the tincture. Because basically our diet these days are leading us to eat just a bunch of things that aren't food. So our system's constantly creating a bunch of mucus inside of our gut and inside of our whole system down here. There's extra mucus and stuff, so you need to really clean that out first. I always highly recommend a distilled water fast. Sorry if my viewers and you've seen and heard this a million times, but a distilled water fast where you're just drinking distilled water, you're eating other things, it's not like you're fasting like that, but distilled water is the only drink that you're having. That's going to allow yourself to really clean out your system, and then you're going to be able to use something like a tincture and really feel more of those effects more quickly, just like you should be feeling, but our bodies are so stopped up with all the junk we have right now. So that's such a bummer with where we're living. But if people would know the easy solutions to fix it and to change it, they'd feel more empowered to take charge themselves and to do something where they can control more of the outcomes for their family. So that's what I have to say about that. What do you recommend to do with Usnea? Usnea lichen. So I actually use Usnea lichen in my Tic Tac tincture. It's really good for liver cleansing and liver health, so usnea is really good for that. Usnea is one of those things called old man's beard is what it's sort of known as, and it grows in the woods. It's kind of like viney in a way, like thin, skinny, like hairs is what it really looks like. Hence its the name, old man's beard. Excuse me. Sorry. Excuse me, guys. Okay, let's see the other messages, and then we'll go on and make some more tincture. I'm excited to keep going with that. Any recommendation for complex regional pain syndrome? It depends on what it's from and what your habits are. So everyone really needs to understand that our daily lifestyle habits and choices really play a part in everything that we're experiencing. So a lot of the stuff that people experience as chronic issues are really just negative interactions they're having with their environment or things that they're doing to themselves by giving themselves a bunch of food, crappy food over and over again. Your body's trying to fight it, guys. So if you're experiencing something chronic or something that is just happening for you often and all the time, especially like eczema and things like that, you need a liver cleanse. Someone's calling me right now. Sorry, guys. You need a liver cleanse, a whole body cleanse. You need to really get that thing stopped and out, and you need to think about your diet. You need to think about how you can incorporate more fresh fruits and vegetables and less processed meat, red meat, things like that. Okay, so that's just a holistic side note from me. But everything's not a one-size-fits-all. Let's just go straight to the herbal medicine and then throw a bunch of crap inside our body. Doesn't work like that. Your body's a temple. Treat it right. You know, our bodies are supposed to be doing things that are really, really great, and they can do things that are really, really great, but we need to feed them the right food. And a lot of the things that we call food right now aren't really food. So that's where you're getting a lot of these chronic issues from, and a lot of it is the things that we're using, like even sprays and stuff like that for your hair. I actually just did this video, really funny. Sometimes I get brands that want to pay me to promote their product, so I was promoting a product for this brand, and I used their hair stuff like the video. Well, it turns out that stuff gave me a really bad headache. All right, it was a really bad headache, and I didn't like it after that. I was pretty bummed about that, but I went out and told everyone, like, look, this sucks. Don't get it. You're going to get a really bad headache. And I think that when I'm working with clients and seeing clients that have, like, habitual migraines and habitual headaches, I'm thinking in my head, what products are you using? Likely it's from the products you're using, like the hairsprays, the aerosols, the perfumes, the makeup. What are you doing, women? What are we doing, women? No. We're hurting ourselves a lot. Especially when it comes to the hormonal side of it and the menopausal side of it. Fertility-wise, I mean, there's a lot of reasons all these rates can continue to drop in the United States especially, and it's because that we're allowing crap products to be in almost everything we're using and being on our body every single day, okay? So you got to watch out for crap products. And I want to do a video about this at some point. This is not the time or place, but I will mention it here. Come on, guys, what the heck? Girls, why do we need to wear makeup all the time? Why do we need to wear makeup? What is our problem? I don't get it. I used to be there. Okay, I used to be there. I was an NFL cheerleader. All right, I cheered for the Titans and I cheered for the Chiefs. I've been there, done that, you guys. But why? I grew up a dancer. I grew up makeup caked all over my face. But why? Why? I don't get it. Why are we doing this to ourselves? Why do we say that we have to wear makeup? Why don't we tell each other, let's work out. Let's be healthy. Here's these healthy things we should do. Let's make healthy habits as a society. Let's do more Tai Chi like they're doing over there in other countries, right? Like, let's do things that can help us as people as we continue to grow forward. Because right now our life expectancy just continues to go down, not up. It's not rising by any way. And so I don't think that our habits are good ones that are going to sustain us for the future. So part of Grand Fan Farm and part of me doing all these sorts of things is to build a sustainable future and build this army of people who are aware of how to make a sustainable future and aware of how to make the right choices for their children and their grandchildren and their grandchildren. I mean, I looked at my daughter. I've got a 9-year-old and a 7-year-old. And I looked at my 7-year-old daughter one day, and she's putting on makeup. Like, you know, someone had given her makeup for her birthday or something like that. And she's putting it on. And anytime that would happen, I would be throwing away all the foundation and stuff because I hadn't worn that in a while. And I'm looking at her and I said to myself, what am I teaching my daughter? What? Why am I teaching her that she needs to wear makeup in order to go anywhere, right? Or wear makeup in order to feel like she's ready to go. And it was like, makeup really has nothing to do with the fact that I feel ready to go. It had everything to do with my self-esteem and how I didn't feel beautiful in my own skin. And so I just thought, and still think today and push the message as much as I can of natural beauty. Let's do other things to make us feel more beautiful. And I think a lot of that comes back to natural medicine. And so natural medicine ends up being the thing that makes us feel, for me, the most beautiful, because I feel like comfortable in my skin and comfortable with who I am as a person. And so that's why I like to live on it and thrive on it and help people see that, look, build your confidence level up. And then you're going to want to do these good, healthy things for you, because you're going to realize the temple that you've got going on here, and it's just going to kind of naturally fall into place. Okay, sorry, that was my soapbox. I am off my soapbox now. Let's see if there's any questions. Oh my gosh, so funny, you guys. See, when you do a live with me, you just really never know what you're going to get. So I guess sorry or not sorry about that. Hope you're enjoying. How to reset after chronic constipation from Tramadol used after stopping Tramadol. Not familiar with that, but chronic constipation, here's what I would highly recommend. First and foremost, lots of water. Of course, I know you're probably saying I drink water all the time. Lots and lots of water. Drink the water. And then, as a diuretic, dandelion root is fantastic as a diuretic. It's really good to get the body moving and get everything flushed out. It's one that I also recommend if you're dealing with kidney stones. Dandelion root will flush it out quick. So burdock root, that's how I would do a reset. Dandelion root, burdock root, and calendula. Those are dailies that I like to have, and that's what I would recommend for that one for sure. And chronic constipation, just remember, lots of water. Not as much other things that are like Gatorades, Powerades, stuff like that. Water. Legitimate water. If you want to make tea, perfect. Tea, water. That's it. Oh, and you know what else I like? Distilled water. Distilled water is fantastic. Where can you get Mullein tea? Mullein tea you can make your own. I don't know where you live right now. Kind of hard to find mullein where I am. We have dried mullein. So mullein, when you want to make tea, you want to use the leaves of the mullein. The leaves are the stems of the mullein. You can use the flowers, but make sure they haven't gone to seed yet. Mullein seeds are toxic, so be careful there. But yeah, mullein tea you can get anywhere. We sell mullein tea at grahamfamfarm.com, GRAHAMFAMFARM.com. We sell it there, but you can also get it from lots of other retailers online. I would look locally if I were you though first to find out if there's someone locally that provides it near you. That's what we always encourage. Do it locally or grow your own. And you know what? Mullein's getting ready to start popping up. Getting ready. Dang it, it's only January. Mullein, not so much, but chickweed will be coming up soon and lots of other stuff like that. I got dandelion coming up soon. Red clover's already out, but mullein, you're going to have to wait till around May. But lots of options, so check it out. Hopefully that answered your question. Thanks, Courtney. At Sherry, you can also smoke mullein. Yes, you can, but I would add lavender, peppermint, or chamomile leaves to cut it. Okay, thank you. Who is this? Life of the Wakimumu. Thank you so much. Great point. Smoking mullein's fantastic for helping your lungs. Really fantastic for helping your lungs. Fantastic stuff. But if you're not a big smoker like some people, may not be an option for you. But if you are, it's great to clear your lungs. You will feel it after 1 or 2 uses. Thank you so much. Okay, because I smoke and I'm trying to quit, but want all the gross mucus out. Yeah, so mullein is a good alternative to get that to go on, but colloidal silver, if you'll just give yourself a batch of colloidal silver, gone, girl. Okay, follow live. I had to take a call. Did you cover the treatment for the liver yet? So there's lots of treatments for the liver to clear out your liver, get a healthier liver. Dandelion root is one I go to right away. Dandelion root is super good for the liver. You know what? And let's just go ahead and let me look what I've got down here. Okay, so let's go ahead and this is what you get if you're a subscriber. I was thinking of just sending you all my little notes, right? Like, that'd be so cool. So we'll start there. But yeah, so what was I going to do for liver? Of course, I was going to do my red clover because red clover is really, really good for that. You know what? Let's go ahead and jump to just my dandelion tincture. Let's do it. I like that. Because that's what I've got down here for liver, and there's not really one I'd like to do before that. Let's jump to the dandelion tincture and see what's going on with that. Okay, so when you're making dandelion tincture, you can use the leaves or you can use the root. Doesn't matter. They both do different things. The leaves are going to tackle more of your liver function, and the root is going to be more immune system, anti-cancer, overall body, white blood cell boost friend, okay? So in my mind, kind of he's defined in that way. So in my mind, when you're wanting to target the liver, I'm going to go with the leaves of the dandelion. But then remember, you can also always mix tinctures and put more than one herb inside a tincture, okay? So if you're making like a liver really good one, I'd want to do like burdock root, dandelion leaf, dandelion root all in one. Take it that way. But if you're just experimenting, you want to make mono tincture like me to have in your apothecary, so you have tons of mono tinctures hanging out, Then we're just going to do the leaves for this one, and we're going to call it liver. When on our label where we label it, we'll put liver as the function. And that way it'll be different. When I do a dandelion root, the function won't be the liver. Although it does that as a side effect, because you'll see that they do a lot of different fun stuff. More than one, oh, that's burdock. More than one herb treats more than one thing. Lots of the herbs treat a lot of the same things. You'll start to realize. So you like to, that's why I tell people to, break it down a little bit. Use the herbs that grow close to you. Look up the herbs that grow where you are. Use them, and then you're not having to buy the things that will treat these ailments. All right? Okay, so I'm looking for dandelion root. Did I use dandelion root all over, guys? I don't think I used it yet, did I? No, that's black cohosh. Dandelion root. It was back there. I was like, I know it's around here somewhere. Okay, so, but I said I'm using dandelion leaves. What am I doing, guys? Come on, keep me on point here. Dandelion leaves. Dandelion leaves. Dandelion leaves. Beautiful. Okay, so dandelion leaves. Here's what we're going to do. Okay, so this is exactly for the livers. We are going to get your mason jar. Put your funnel on top of your jar. Go ahead and sprinkle in your dry dandelion leaves. Yes, you can use dandelion stems as well. That's perfectly fine. In Native American, you use actually the entire bit of every plant, especially sage. Traditional Native American medicine aspect there. Okay. Then you're going to add in your menstruum. Our menstruum is going to be the vodka menstruum, and we are going to fill it up all the way. Whoop. Leave a little space at the top. And then I'm going to put on my lid. My lid and my ring. Oh, look at that. I had a dandelion sticking out. A little leaf. Put him in. Okay, and then put my ring on. You'll hear it click. Shake it. Shake it any way you want. Open it back up again. And pour in a tiny bit more. I like to get as much tincture out of this as I can because remember the vodka, after it pulls out the medicinal value of the herbs, it's going to be your tincture. So that's like gold, literal gold. Darn it. Okay. Trying again. Having a happy demeanor really helps you as you struggle through some of the first herbal lessons. Happy demeanor, and in life, I think it helps. Just a general happy demeanor. My husband's a very happy guy. He's a jokester. I like it. Keeps it light when I kind of make it a little intense. I'm a little type A. If there's such thing as a type. Okay, so there's my dandelion leaf tincture. I'm going to go ahead and put my label on there. And remember I was saying that on my label, you guys, I want to put that this one is intended for liver. So I know what I'm getting on my go-to grab looking for liver. I'm going to write that down, okay? So I'm writing down not just dandelion, right? I'm writing down dandelion leaves, vodka menstruum, today's date, 1/26, and then I'll write liver. Okay, and I'll put it on the front of the jar. Now, where you store these is totally up to you. I recommend a cabinet. That's kind of my recommendation. It's just like a cabinet would be really good. Some people store them in their basement, in their garage. Just a cabinet in your kitchen's fine. You guys see? Oh, that is better. Okay. I don't know. I can see if you could see very well. All right. So that dandelion leaves menstruum. And I'm going to add it up here. Here they are. Okay. Let me see on some of the questions. What we got going on? Follow life career. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you, Courtney. At Bunny Heaven. Not yet. Okay. Followed anything for water retention, clear skin? Yeah, Jillian. So you're going to want to look at anti-inflammatory herbs. So thanks, great question. A lot of anti-inflammatory herbs are a lot of the ones I mentioned already, like the diuretics I was talking about. Dandelion's great at it. It's actually awesome if you're looking for a coffee replacer too, because dandelion root smells like coffee. It's going to make you pee just the same that coffee would, because I know that everyone likes coffee because it makes it so that you can take out your inflammation from the day. Trust me, and my under eyes bags tell the same story. But no, I actually don't use that. I use burdock root, and it's fantastic. Dandelion root, fantastic. Peppermint is another really good one. I have a joint pain and arthritis remedy tincture on my website that's got some great herbs in there if you're looking for anti-inflammatories. Another one I think of off the top of my head is cat's claw. Cat's claw, if you've never heard of it, is so good for inflammation. All right, it's a vine, it's a tropical vine, so it's probably not growing anywhere near you unless you have a really cool greenhouse, but it's a tropical vine with little yellow flowers on it, and it's the vine itself that we use in cat's claw. And I don't think I have any cat's claw out here right now. I have some in the other room, but it's like a little reddish bark. Looks kind of reddish and torn, but it is really good. It's also really good for rheumatoid arthritis. So anyone looking for like rheumatoid arthritis, cat's claw is where it's at. But yeah, check out my joint pain arthritis tincture, some of the other things I put in there online, and you'll find some really good ideas for anti-inflammatories. But yeah, so if you're looking for just an anti-inflammatory here, why don't we go ahead and make it anti-inflammatory? So did I make my burdock root already, guys? Let's look. No, let's make a burdock root. I can't believe we haven't made it. Burdock root is a blood cleanser. It's an anti-inflammatory. It is an all-around good guy. So if you're looking for something to make your white blood cells stronger and better, you're looking for burdock root, okay? And burdock root is a root that grows in the Midwest, grows all over the United States, especially in the Midwest. And it's very hardy. Not a farmer's favorite, okay? It's that little burrs on it that stick to you. The plant's telling you, pick me, I'm medicinal, pick me, I'm not good for anything else. No, but I mean, it's one of those plants that farmers will be glad to let you take out of their garden or out of their yard or field or anywhere you want to take it. So again, you're going to take any size jar you want. Your dried, cut up, sifted burdock root, and it smells earthy. This tea or this tincture, you don't want to take burdock in a tea by itself. Not very yummy, all right? Not very yummy. I always mix it with like calendula, rose, peppermint, spearmint, dandelion, St. John's wort. I mix it with a bunch of stuff to hide that taste because it's very, very earthy. It's not going to be slimy like some of your other ones when you make them, like an arrowroot gets slimy. It's not going to be slimy, so don't worry about that, but it is earthy. Okay, so half of it full. Can you see that? Oh, that's way better. Look at that. That's so much better. Half of it full with your root. This is for anyone that's dealing with like an autoimmune disease, burdock root, okay? Dealing with autoimmune, burdock, and frankincense and myrrh, right? But burdock, and ashwagandha and wormwood, those are all great ones for autoimmune diseases and cancer. Okay, then you're gonna fill it up with your vodka minstrel. Whoopsies. And I wanna get some more questions after this, guys. I'm loving all these questions. So if you've got a question, write it down. I want to get there. Okay, shake it up. And we're not going to do my second step. No, thank you, Samantha. I got a rose. Thank you. I'm not going to do the adding liquor because it seems like today I'm just adding too much and making it fall anyways. You're going to put on your label, this is a burdock root tincture. Burdock root tincture with a vodka minstrel, which is the liquid that I use to pull out the medicinal value. Today's date, 1/26, and then this one is going to be used particularly as a blood cleanser. Okay, perfect. And like a diuretic, I'll put that on there too. Blood cleanser, diuretic, so if any client is looking to get rid of the inflammation, I can grab this one. Burdock's where it's at. By client, I mean husband or child, because these are for my personal apothecary, guys. Okay, wonderful. Burdock root. Okay, getting larger and larger. Okay, let's see what some of the other questions are. I'd love to answer your questions. Don't forget the year. Chrissy, let's go. Let's go. Good job. Thank you, Chrissy. Okay, 24. Let's go. See? You get rolling. You're like, I got it all. I got it. No. Thank you. Let's go, Chrissy. Okay, what else we got going on? Do you sell? Yes, we sell. GramFamFarm.com. Check it out. GRAHAMFAMFARM.com. Check it out. Would love for you to buy our products. Don't forget the year. Chrissy, let's go, my girl. Still so proud of you there. Thank you so much. Hello. What about for weight loss? For weight loss, burdock root. Seriously, one of my favorite ones for weight loss. Burdock root. It really fights the fat. I've actually done a video about burdock root and how it fights the fat. Fantastic for weight loss. Really good stuff. If you're looking for herbs that help fight the weight loss cravings, you're going to look to your culinary herbs, okay? So that's going to be like your garlic, ginger, peppermint, thyme, oregano, rosemary, marjoram. These are all herbs that you want to put into some sort of tea to really help stop your cravings. Stopping cravings is one of the first things you want to do on the weight loss side of the journey, okay? Stop those cravings. And then make sure, you guys, you're not overeating, okay? Let me just sidestep it here. You should eat to live. You should not live to eat, people, all right? I had to understand it when I was young. I've not always had a body that I've liked and been proud of, and now I do have that body, and I'm not afraid to tell people how to get it. It's easy to do, but it takes discipline. Self-discipline is key. We can all do this, all right? We want to take pride in our bodies and take pride in what we're putting inside of our bodies. All right? So that's the first thing you need to think is my body's a temple. Not everything's going in this sucker. All right? And there's a lot of people that want to put stuff in your body. You keep that out. You keep that safe with yourself. Okay? Do a lot of research on yourself. Your body's your temple. So when you want to feed your body, you want to feed your body to allow your body to do work for you. Allow it to work for you. Allow it to think for you. Allow it to just do what it's supposed to do best for you, all right? And to get it to do that, you got to feed it right. Most of the things that I eat today are foods that I didn't even know existed. Not kidding. All right? Because they're foods that it's just like, what's a date? Because I eat a lot of plant-based diet. There's a lot more spiritual side. We can go into that later, but basically, you want to eat to live, people, not live to eat. You want to keep your calories low and your work up. You want to be active during the day, and the more active you are during the day, and if you'll start your day off being active, I'm kind of squatting down. There's like this thing over my eyes, so sorry if that's bothering you. It kind of bothered me. But it was, if you'll stay more active, people, in the morning, start off your day active, the rest of the day is easier for you. Your body's not habitually starting up its cycle. Because what's going on when you're trying to start your diet, you're trying to start eating healthier, your body's in this habitual, cyclical routine already. So it's going to keep giving you tons of cravings in accordance with what you've been giving it in the past. So if you normally are going to wake up and eat a bunch of stuff, well then in the morning, your body's going to be really hungry because it's used to you waking up and eating a bunch of stuff. All right? So it's turned itself on because it's super smart. And it's like, all right, we're going to eat. Let's go. Let's go. Let's eat. I can't wait to eat because we always eat right now. And so then that craving that you're feeling, it's not like you're so hungry. Okay, I know we interpret it that way, but that's not what it is. It's really, hey, I'm ready. I'm turned on. My system's ready to go. I'm all oiled up. I'm a well-oiled machine. Feed me, okay? Because it's helping you do what you want to, and normally you eat right now. So it's helping you get ready for that. Our bodies are very smart. Super duper 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 smart, okay? And so if you're, in fact, I'm going to sit because this little screen thing is like doing like a weird thing on my face. So if you are going to feed yourself crap, then your body's going to be ready to eat crap and wanting to eat crap for you. Okay, but if you feed yourself good stuff, then your body's going to do good things for you and help yourself, digest that food a lot better and, run or be more active in just your normal everyday life, okay? So you really need to start with those good habits now to replace those old habits that you had, all right? And once you get over that craving, it goes away. Just wait like 20 minutes. Drink a glass of water, wait 20 minutes, and that craving will go away. And you know when you're going to get your next one? Well, the next time you normally eat. When is it that you would normally eat? That's when you're going to get your next one. But our bodies aren't really supposed to be like that. We're not meant to eat like that, just to let you guys know. We're not, okay? We're supposed to eat kind of like cheetahs. You know how they go in and like kill something and just gobble it all down at one time, and they eat it all, their stomachs are just huge, and then they don't eat again for a while? That's how it works best for us too. Okay, and that's just a healthy lifestyle. Your body should not always be digesting food. It's not how your bodies are meant to be. Our bodies are not always meant to digest. Our bodies are meant to do lots of other things when it's not digesting food. But unfortunately, in this world that we live, we've been told that we are supposed to eat 3 square meals a day. And in fact, some people even eat 6 to 8 and are always eating and always... That's not actually how our bodies are made to do it. Because if you don't have food in your belly, your body goes into cleaner mode. Have you heard about cleaner mode? Cleaner mode is this mode that your body goes to, and they call it sleeper mode in medical doctor science, like sleeper mode. Well, they call it that. That's a weird name to call it because it's doing everything but sleeping. It's not sleeping at that time at all. It's actually cleaning out your system and rejuvenating all your old cells, okay? It actually switches out the old cells, makes them better and newer and more brand new, and that's what it's doing during that time. But that time doesn't happen until you have food out of your system because your blood sugar rises too much for it to happen. It's a state of ketosis, okay? It's a scientific state that your body goes in, and you can allow it to go in that state more often if you're not requiring your body to constantly digest food. So if you start thinking of it that way and start thinking of, look, my body actually has something else that it's supposed to be doing right now. It's supposed to be going into cleaner mode. Then maybe that'll help you think of more, I want to eat to live. I don't want to live to eat. And if you think that way, I want to eat to live. I don't want to live to eat. So when I do eat, yeah, I want to eat fancy. I want to eat really good food that's really good for me, and I want to take pride in preparing that food. I want to take pride in making that the best food that's going to enter into my body, my temple, because I know that stuff that's going to enter into my temple is only the best stuff. Okay, so that's what I always think. That should help you kind of reset your mind and like reset your focus on dieting and weight loss and what that even means, right? What that even means, because the less fat you have on your body, the higher your body can vibrate vibrationally. So that's a whole other scientific realm. But if you go into theoretical science and a lot of stuff about that, then you can start learning about how our bodies vibrate and how everything in the universe vibrates. So different subject, I know. Sorry, completely off topic from the live. I've probably lost every viewer. No, I haven't. Hooray. All right, so let me go back to the questions. There's a lot to learn there. A lot of very advanced science that we are not thinking about or being introduced to at this time. Holy cow, I've been on for an hour and a half, you guys. Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry. I did not realize I was on so long, but obviously you're liking it. Okay, you've made 2 Ella and labeled both jars Mullen. Thank you so much. Have I really? Have I really? Oh my gosh. Who was that? Who was that? What can I do for my eye? They're so weak, you guys. I've got to talk about that chicken nugget. Remind me, I'm coming back to that. Hang on. You made 2 Ella. Toss. Thank you. Thank you so much, Toss. I really appreciate it. Oh, you're the bomb. Okay, so I've made 2 Ella campaigns accidentally, and I labeled one of them Mullen. That's what's telling me over there. Toss is telling me what's going on. So let's fix that really quickly. Look, yes. So I made 2 Ella campaign, and I labeled both of them Mullen. Yeah. I made 2 Ella campaign. I labeled 1 Mullen and 1 Ella campaign. Look at that, you guys. See? No. I was talking. Look at that. Okay, so now I've got to fix that. Put Ella campaign root. Good job, Tass. Ella campaign root. Vodka menstruum. And 126.24, right? And this is going to be for coughing. So goodness, we still need to make a Mullen, don't we? Yeah, I'm sorry. Okay. Ella campaign root. Boom shakalaka. Thank you. Later on, I would have been looking at that one and been like, what? What kind of Mullen was that? Thank you so much. Thank you. So we need to make a Mullen, right? Okay, but I said I want to talk about eyes really quickly, so I'll talk about eyes while I make a Mullen. She made 2 campaign. I'm like, Samantha, thank you. Thank you, Rebecca. I'm so glad you really needed it today. I'm so glad. Okay, hopefully I got to all those. Now let me go down to Hill. She made 2. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Okay. How to drink is good for thyroid disease. Okay, so for thyroid and thyroid in general, as I make Mullen, let's talk about thyroid. I think thyroid is a lack of certain ingredients that we need in our system that we don't get all the time that we definitely should. Such ingredients include copper and salt. And the reason I say that is because you need iodine. So the thyroid is really lacking iodine right now. There's a lot of iodine in salts, and there's an iodized salt. You should get iodized salt if you're lacking iodine. But I think there's two major factors that most people are lacking in their body, and it leads to a sluggish thyroid, and that is going to be lack of copper and lack of iodine. Those are two things you don't hear about very often, you guys, and I think they don't want us to know about them, or kind of forget about them. I'm sorry. For a reason. Because I think they know that once we have, I was trying to get on my little copper thing over here, once we have these things in our body, like little tiny pieces of copper or iodines, because we have receptors for all of these things, it allows our body to work better. Everything works better. Everything about our bodies work better. Okay, that not only does this manage, iodine included, it manages your thyroid, but your thyroid manages things like your sleep, right, and your weight loss, and it regulates all that sorts of stuff. So if you're dealing with those issues, I highly recommend getting like a copper container. In fact, dang it, I have some on my TikTok shop. Go to my TikTok shop. There's some cool copper stuff on there if you want. You guys, even if you don't get it from me, get copper somewhere. You want to make sure it's all the way copper, like inside of it's copper too. And you need copper in your body to regulate your thyroid. So if you've noticed that you don't have copper a lot in your life, or you don't have iodide, like an iodized salt, eat that normally, regularly, and you're going to see that functioning on its own start to improve. On the other side of that, if you do already do all those things, you're still noticing that, then I highly recommend that you start including stuff like evening primrose, black cohosh. Some of the things you normally see associate with the menstrual cycle are also really good for that too. Okay. How to drink is good. Oh, wait, I did thyroids. Thank you. Oh gosh, sorry guys. What can I do for my eyes? They're so weak. This is what I wanted to talk about, chicken nugget. Okay, the eyes, you guys. I have so much to talk about with this. So first off, stop wearing sunglasses. I know, right? Don't wear sunglasses. What are you talking about? They're weakening your eyes, you guys. They're weakening our eyes. All right, imagine being in a cave all day, and it's really dark in the cave, and you're in the cave, and you're just being in the cave. When you go outside to the light, your eyes are not going to be very sensitive. They're going to be sensitive because they're not used to that. Your body's very smart. Remember, we talked about that earlier. Your body's very smart. It adapts to what you do every day. So just like with weight loss, when it's used to turning itself on and turning on your stomach to prepare for the food you're about to eat, it's also used to doing what you normally do. Okay, so if you're normally in like a dark setting or looking at a computer all day, here I am watching the computer, I'm typing on the computer, my room's kind of dim, or I'm sitting there watching TV in a dark room with just watching TV. I don't go outside very often. When I do go outside, I put on sunglasses. You're not helping your eyes get exposed to what it needs to get better, which is sunlight. It needs to be exposed to sunlight again in order to acclimate to that being around that light again. All right, you guys, I did this myself and had to recorrect my eyes on a 10-hour cross-country road trip with my family. I had to take off my sunglasses for that 10 hours and literally slowly acclimate myself to sunshine again. So that's what happens when you wear sunglasses too much. All right, so watch out for that. Now, if you're talking about eye problems that have to do, like, even has to do with like degenerative eye issues. Also carrots are really good for that too. But even like degenerative eye issues, they've shown that the sunglasses not allowing you to actually be full on in the sun is very detrimental to our eyes. Another great thing you can do is sun gazing, before I leave the sun side of it and go to the herb side of the eyes. But sun gazing is another fantastic thing you can do for your eyes. Sun gazing in the morning or sun gazing at night. And what that means is you're just going outside and you're looking, so like say the sun's right in front of me. I close my eyes and I go outside and I look at the sun with my eyes closed, and I just stare at it for about 30 to 45 seconds, either in the morning when it's first coming up or at night when it's going down. Okay? Doing that will really, really help all these muscles in your eyes reset themselves and stop straining so hard. It needs that, okay? So sun gazing is a really important thing to do for eye strength as well if you're already not wearing sunglasses and things like that. Now, for eye health on the herbal side. On the herbal side, I highly recommend calendula. That's what I recommend for any sort of skin issues, eye issues. If you're dealing with like an eye sty, calendula is great to get that out. Any sort of like redness around the eye, calendula is fantastic. So like a calendula infused almond oil is great for any eye issues. That's what I would recommend there. Oh, and if you're dealing with like an eye sty, apple cider vinegar diluted down to where it should be, not too straight apple cider vinegar, but diluted down apple cider vinegar applied to that eye will draw out that sty over time. You won't have to have surgery. There was people, oh, I have to have surgery, and get this sty pulled out of my eye. Ah! I highly recommend a second opinion and talking to an herbalist before you do that. I highly recommend it. But again, I'm not a doctor, but I do highly recommend that. Talk to an herbalist. You can probably get it pulled out with that apple cider mixture in like 2 weeks, okay? So much better than surgery on a little one. Okay, so let me go down. You're right, I didn't make Mullen. Thanks, guys. I appreciate you, Les. I've literally been here the whole time. Thank you. What's some good resources to learn about this science? So in general, there's tons of good resources you can use. Rosemary Gladstar is a great one. She has lots of great books. Another book I literally just had right here, because I was reading it earlier, The Lost Book of Herbal Remedies. Fantastic book. Any sort of like prepper book that you can find. Preppers always talk about sustainable solutions, and this has been a science that's been around from the beginning, herbal medicine. So that's where I would start to look. That's where I originally started to look. But I did a video on how many books I have in my room. It's hilarious. I can't narrow it down to one source, you guys. I like to look at lots of different sources. I believe we should look at lots of different sources and not trust just one source, that we should have lots of reliable sources that we regularly go to and regularly check up on just to kind of see what's going on. But yeah, those are the ones that I recommend. Great, great book, The Lost Book of Herbal Remedies. I really, really enjoy that one. But Rosemary Gladstar's books is very nice too, because she has a lot of her favorite recipes, is I think what she calls them. And that's a good start out for a beginner who wants to learn some basic stuff and have some good like fire cider recipes and stuff like that under your belt. So I would highly recommend that. High blood pressure herbs. So high blood pressure, you're going to look for anything dealing with the heart. So hawthorn is where I go immediately. Thank you. Appreciate you. Who was that? No, I missed it. Thank you so much. I don't know who just did that, but thank you. I appreciate you. Okay, so hawthorn's one of the ones I think of right away for high blood pressure. Hawthorn is really great. Again, I also want to point you into the direction of copper. Copper's really great for the heart, really great for regulating all of that. Helps the arteries expand, which is another great thing. And then your diet. Okay, guys, diet is really, really important. We've talked about it a little bit before, but especially if you're dealing with heart issues, you want those heart arteries to expand, okay? And to get them to expand, a plant-based diet or a diet that allows less oil inside your body, less fat. It's not really less oil, it's less fat, like animal fat inside your body, will allow those heart blood vessels and arteries to expand more and not be so restricted. Okay, so lots of different options there, but hawthorn is a really, really good blood one, and colloidal copper is another recommendation that I would highly recommend. And you can make it yourself, guys. Colloidal copper is literally just go get copper. This is a copper mug, okay? Fully copper. That's what copper looks like. Put water in there. Let it sit there for a little bit and drink it. Effects are amazing. Effects are amazing. Okay, let's see what's next. You're welcome. Thank you, SS Turns. You're so welcome for all the information. All right. Yes, Les. Thank you. We've been trying to tell you. Thank you. I know. I'm sorry. I will get better at these lives. I've said it from the beginning. I will get better at the lives. I promise you. Thank you guys so much. We was telling you. I know. Thank you. Only 40 minutes later. Heck yes, I know, right? Like, who would have thought I would have been on this long and not seeing all the messages? So sorry. I just go on with life and leave them alone. Arthritis. Yes, arthritis. So that's when you look at your anti-inflammatories, okay? Arthritis, your anti-inflammatories is where it's at. I make a really good joint pain arthritis tincture. It's on my website, grahamfamfarm.com, GRAHAMFAMFARM.com. Check it out. But you're going to want to look to things like burdock root, dandelion, thistle, peppermint, spearmint, cat's claw. Those are all great anti-inflammatory herbs that you're going to want to use on a daily basis. Also, make sure you're incorporating colloidal copper into your life, because it's a really good anti-inflammatory anti-inflammatory trace mineral that we all require and need in our lives, which is why it's a trace mineral. It's actually found, we're made up of copper, and so we need it. A lot of people get really concerned about the over metal, you're going to over heavy metals in your body. Well, there are a lot of bad heavy metals you can get in your body that you're not supposed to get, like a lot of things that are in vaccines and stuff like that. Don't put those in your body. Your body does not have receptors for those, and it can't get them out. So don't put that. But oil or trace minerals such as copper, silver, gold, all the ones that are worth a lot of money, those are the ones you want in your body, and those are the ones that help assist you in your everyday life. So definitely look into that, and in different ways you can incorporate those into a healthy lifestyle. What is mullein? Mullein is that big. Great mullein is the one that we use, or at least the one that I'm talking about. Great mullein. Great mullein is that herb that has very furry flowers. It grows up really weird and has like a big shoot at the top covered in yellow flowers. Okay, so it's kind of like a weird looking plant. You'll definitely notice when you see it. It has like a very strong thing up here that has flowers on it. So go find it. Great mullein is the mullein we're talking about. And it's mullein. Flowers are blooming. Oh, I'm so sorry. Flowers are blooming in the Arctic. Look it up. I love that because things are going on, people. It's an exciting time to be alive. Eyes. Hello. Sorry. Eyes. Calendula, I would say there. Calendula. Carrots. Hopefully I got everybody. Except what out loud? Sarah M. Say what now? Literally, we got like 4 feet of snow. Ooh, wow. Oh my gosh. Mullein is a miracle plant. It helped me heal my lungs. My doctor said I couldn't do it. Yeah, they don't know a lot about it because it's not really in their peer-reviewed studies that they're allowed to study and incorporate into their practices. And a lot of the funding that they get, especially working for certain entities, a lot of the funding that they get depends on the pharmaceuticals they're recommending, and the hospitals make more money the more that they recommend that are within their approved guidelines. So yeah, you wouldn't hear anything about mullein or anything like that from a doctor because that's not something that they are familiar with. However, an herbalist like me, we're super familiar with mullein and we know it works extremely well. And I highly encourage you to do smart foraging and go and get you some this spring. I like mullein in July. That's a great time to get mullein flowers. So if you're looking for mullein, July's the time. I'm in Missouri though, so it's going to be different from where you are. Kelp for iodine. Yes, kelp's fantastic for iodine. Really good. There's actually other iodine tinctures you can get too that are made from kelp. Kelp's great. Chlorella is another great one. I have another one. Darn it. Can't remember off the top of my head. Thought I was going to remember off the top of my head, but I can't. But I remembered chlorella. But yeah, really, really, really great for iodine. So if you're looking for something for your thyroid, that sluggish thyroid, iodine, people. Iodine. And copper. Okay, what about now? Mullein, kelp for iodine, thank you. I really appreciate all the, participation. It's really nice, guys, thanks. Watch iodine if hyperthyroidism, it can cause havoc. So, let's talk about that. Time to Heal, which is such a cute name. So iodine for hyperthyroidism, it can cause havoc. So, hyperthyroidism. I believe, and this is what I believe that you need iodine to regulate it, and you need everything in moderation. So no matter what you need, it must be consumed in moderation. And so I never want to scare a client or make them concerned in any way that, watch out, it could wreak havoc. Yeah, so could water. Water could literally kill you if you drink too much of it. You can drown yourself drinking water, literally. You can do it. So I'm always cautious to say, watch out, it could. Yeah, definitely could. Too much of anything could, but it doesn't mean you shouldn't take it, okay? It doesn't mean that you don't need it. You should have everything in a moderate amount, moderation. Did I just get my first subscriber? I don't know. Pretty sure I just got my first subscriber, and now I'm really stoked. I'm so excited, thank you. So excited. I didn't expect that already. I expected that in another video. Woo! Exciting! Thank you! Okay, go back to moderation. I'm so stoked. Thanks, guys. I thought I'd have to build up a little. I'm trying to build up this thing, make it better and better for you, so I'm glad that this makes me feel good about it. Yay, hooray! Thanks, guys. So moderation. Moderation's really key in all the choices and decisions you're going to make in your life. So never just not do something because too much of it could kill you, okay? Be smart about it. Let's make reasonable choices together. And yes, too much can kill you, but not enough of it also can too. Okay, so make sure you don't jump just to one extreme over the other. We want a moderation, moderately do all of this. Moderation is key, okay? And iodine's really good for you, and I'm telling you right now, 99% of us do not get enough of it, okay? Okay, just addressing that, but thank you. I really appreciate the comment. Time to Heal. Love that. Okay, I use me too! J. Crow's Lugal Solution for Thyroid. I used that for years. So before I even started making my own products, man, this was 12 years ago. Same one. I have the exact same one. That's the one I use. Go. Let's go. You guys! I have 5 subscribers! What the heck? I'm so excited. I don't even know. No, I have 2 subscribers. This is what I'm learning on the live. I'm so excited. This is so, wow. Thanks, guys. From my heart to yours. Thank you. I wish I could give you, I bet I can give you presents too. Oh my gosh. All right. I'm going to have to start giving people presents. But don't forget remember my top viewers today also get this, okay? The 2 top viewers are getting this today. I'm excited to send it to you. Okay. Here we go. So yeah, I use that too. J. Crew Lugels and iodine, guys, when you take it for the first time, watch out. It doesn't taste very good. Watch out, okay? Take it sublingually under your tongue so all those taste buds on top don't have to taste it, but you do need it, okay? And the better it starts to taste for you, the more you realize that your body is starting to acclimate to it. Same thing when you have like a dandelion. Thank you! Same thing when you have like a dandelion. You're going to want to make sure that at first when you have it, it's super bitter. You guys, I'm just like so stoked about this subscriber thing. It's just making me so happy. Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to reset here. Okay, get it on. Thank you, guys. Just because this is my dream, right? This is my herbal dream. I'm a lawyer by day. I would really love to just transition over to just doing the herbal thing, and that's just where my heart's at. And so anyone that can do something where their heart's at for a living is that person I want to be. So thank you. I appreciate you. Okay, so I use J. Crow's. Me too, Sandy. Thanks, girl. Does this help someone also that doesn't have a thyroid anymore? So let's talk about that. Yes. Yes. Anything you can do to regulate your thyroid function at any point is always good. Now, when you don't have a thyroid, you still want to mimic that regulation of a normal regulated thyroid as much as possible. So to do that, you still want to intake the same vitamins, minerals, nutrients, trace minerals that you would if you had a healthy, functioning thyroid. Okay, so you still want to do the same things. Healthy, functioning thyroid is what we're thinking of as we're putting these good, natural things inside of our body. Okay, so yes, I would say. All right, let's see. Note to self, copper. Samantha, note to self, copper. Copper's where it's at. I actually have some on my Google or on my TikTok shop if you guys want some copper. I think there were some deals on there too. What about eyes? Chicken nuggets, we talked about eyes. You get out of here. What, no, please stay. Glad you're here. Glad you're here, please stay. What helps the brain heal? Interesting question. Are you talking about the brain heal from some sort of surgery or the brain heal from like a traumatic event? Different questions. Would love to know more of what you're talking about. In general, we all need to get better blood flow to our brain, and we need to decalcify the pineal gland. That's something that we really need to focus on doing. Decalcification of the pineal will help the brain overall work together. But rosemary, turmeric, those are super good brain ones. Ginkgo biloba is really good for the brain. In fact, I have a ginkgo here if you guys want to make a ginkgo. I was going to make a ginkgo biloba. And I have a turmeric. You know what? Let's make a turmeric. That's kind of fun. All right, so we're going to make a turmeric tincture. Turmeric has let me clean up here a little bit, guys. Sorry, I've literally got herbs everywhere. So turmeric has so many great qualities about it. A daily dose of turmeric is wonderful for your skin, wonderful for your brain, your immune system. Can't find the lid. Oh, that's right. White willow didn't have lid. So turmeric is a great one. And remember how I told you earlier in India, neem balls are used? Well, turmeric balls are also used. And turmeric is great for that healthy gut, that healthy system here. Thank you, subscribers! Thank you, Alexis! It's so grateful for all of that. Turmeric and neem together are this great little fighting team. And it also makes a really pretty tincture, so let's make it together. Now, I'm glad I chose this one because turmeric can come in a completely powdered form or like these little granules. I like to get the little granules. I actually don't grow my own turmeric. I source it locally though. And I get these little granules. Thank you. And I think they work better for tincture. It's enough surface area in my tincture, but it's not too much surface area where I'm getting a gritty powder. When you have too much powders in your tincture, I really recommend that you strain it using a coffee strainer, like a non-bleached, fully organic coffee strainer. It's going to take a while. Trust me, it takes a while. Okay, so you're going to fill it up halfway. Woo, that was fast. Ooh, see all that turmeric? So that was really quick. I'm filled it halfway. I'm going to grab my vodka. And fill it up. Look how close that was. I am so lucky. I am so lucky. Let's go. Whew. So lucky. Love it. Okay. Fill it up. Put your lid on it. Oh gosh. Now, this is very anti-inflammatory. Okay? Turmeric is really anti-inflammatory. So if you're looking like those joint pain arthritis, it's in my joint pain arthritis tincture too, guys. Any with that joint pain arthritis stuff? Turmeric's another great option. Okay, you're going to put your label on there. We're going to, it's an overall health tincture is really what it is. Turmeric's great for overall health. So we're going to call this one turmeric, vodka menstruum, date it 1/26/24. Thank you. And we're going to call it overall health and arthritis. Okay? Also great for the brain. We talked about that. So there's a lot of different things you can use. Remember, one herb doesn't just do one thing, and that's why another reason why it's so different from pharmaceutical medicine. It's just such a different game, guys. It's a different game. Thank you, Samantha. Appreciate your rose. Cool. You know what? Thank my subscribers here, people. You guys, thank you so much. Who are these subscribers? Thank you so much. Okay, pin your subscription goal. Don't know what that is. Subscribers. Alexis, thank you. Alexis 18801. Thank you so much. Gypsy Mom 01, thank you. And Tribe Adam, thank you. Tribe Ad Ham, maybe that's it, that's hilarious. Thank you guys, appreciate you. It only says 3, so I don't know if I got 4 or not. Hopefully I'm not missing another one. Thank you, love you all, appreciate you. Okay, helps the brain heal, we talked about that. Now, if you're dealing with something like a traumatic healing injury, like from cutting of a brain, or something like that, like a surgery that you had, yarrow and comfrey is what I would highly recommend. Comfrey is really good for internal healing, but yarrow too. So those would be herbs that I'd recommend for that. I missed what you said about weight loss. So weight loss in general, burdock root's really, really great for that. It's actually a blood cleanser and fights fat in your body. Those are great ones. And then also lean more towards the culinary herbs for those herbs that you want to look to make it so you have like less cravings or to get rid of those cravings. Culinary herbs are where it's at. My doctor gave me glasses with the darkened 38. I know, guys, I'm telling you, what the heck? It's totally backwards in my mind. In my mind, from an herbal standpoint and a natural holistic standpoint, it's totally backwards. I have sensitive eyes. So instead of being exposed to something that could, over time, teach my eyes how to acclimate to that, because my body is something I can teach, I'm going to be given something that I now have to wear for the rest of my life that's going to be darkened and continue to aid my eyes in their problematic state. Because that's the problem we've got going on, right? Your eyes are sensitive. That's the problematic state, sensitive eyes. In order to assist in that problematic state, your doctor gave you darker glasses. So it like keeps you crippled in this problematic state. That doesn't make sense to me. Herbal medicine and holistic medicine and all these natural ways, it's not to keep you in the problematic state, it's to help you climb out of it. And so if a client came to me and said, I'm dealing with sensitive eye issues, the first thing I would say is, okay, first thing we need to do is slow exposure to light. So you can slowly become acclimated to the light and get out of your stage of your sensitivity stage. And so we would do sun gazing. That's the first thing I'd tell them to do. 15 minutes in the morning, 15 minutes at night, sun gazing. I'm sorry I'm repeating myself, but that's exactly what I would say. And then over time, you'll open your eyes and you're actually going to look at the sun. Everyone's going to freak out. Janae, you're not supposed to stare directly into the sun. That's what they say. I've done it multiple times and to correct and heal my eyes, and my eyes are doing a great job. So I think it's interesting the differences between, herbal medicine and herbal medicine and medicine, conventional medicine, like that you find a lot. There's a lot of differences, and so no, I actually think theirs is backwards, but that's just me, and that's just what I think, and that's an herbal recommendation. So I'm not a doctor, not medical advice. Chicken nugget, darkened lenses. I'm telling you, keeping you in that crippled state. Chicken nugget, I don't like it. Your body can grow and listen to you and expand. Ginkgo biloba, yep, it's and also amazingly beautiful plant. If you've ever seen like the ginkgo tree or like ginkgo leaves in general, the tree flower is yellow, but the leaves in general are just beautiful. They look like hearts. So pretty. Love ginkgo. Oh my gosh, this is me now. I don't know what that means. Tell me. Skin glow? I don't know. I hope it's a good thing. I want my skin to look like yours. Help. Thanks, Jesse James. I appreciate it. So on your skin, you guys, a daily skincare routine that I think most people would be beneficial to most people, calendula infused almond oil. Okay, I put it all over my skin. Calendula infused almond oil. I put it everywhere, all over my face. It's actually my acne oil online. If you go to gramfamfarm.com, it's my acne oil. All right, it's just calendula infused almond oil. really good stuff. In fact, I literally, well, this is calendula. This is a calendula tincture, but a calendula infused almond oil, so good for your skin. When you first put it on, give yourself like a week grace period to let it pull out all the toxins and impurities from your skin. That's the first thing it's going to do. It's going to pull out all the toxins and impurities. So you might notice after you put it on a little bit, you know, a day or two later, oh, weird, I have a couple little zits. Yeah, that's the toxin that was inside. It's pulling it out. Don't just stop using it. People who buy it, you know, hit me up a lot and they're like, hey, I thought you said this was good for acne. Sorry, I shouldn't be talking like that, but that's in my mind. That's what they're saying. It's usually via email. I thought you said this is good for acne, but I actually got acne by taking it. Okay, well, how long? First thing is like, well, when did you get it? How long have you been using it? I got it yesterday. I put it on yesterday and this morning, and this afternoon I've got some acne. I'm like, oh, okay, that's actually great news. Fantastic. That means it's working to pull out all the toxins in your system, and you should allow it, 5 to 7 days to get its job done. As soon as they hear that, they're like, okay, yeah, and then they'll tell me later, beautiful skin. So herbal products are strong, you guys, but they get the job done, and they work with your body in the right way to do it. When we try to interfere and we try to stop like this natural sort of like acne that's coming out of it as it's allowing these things to escape our system. I have acne? Well, now I'm going to put on this other topical pharmaceutical they gave me to just fight that. Well, now, oh my gosh, you're screwing everything up as we go through on the system. Allow your body time to react and respond in the normal way it would to this natural herbal medicine, okay? So give it time. Yes, you might notice a little breakout or two here and there as it pulls it out, but afterwards, it's really beautiful, healthy, glowing skin, okay? So I highly recommend you make yourself some right now. In fact, you know what? Let's make a calendula infused. Well, I don't have do I have my oil? Man, I have oil in there. Should I run grab my oil? I'm literally going to go grab my oil. I'm so sorry. Give me like a minute. I know we weren't supposed to make this, but let me grab it. 1 second. Oh my gosh, you guys, that was hilarious. Throwing things around. You're still there. Let's go. Okay. So I couldn't find my almond oil, but I found my hemp seed oil. Okay. Another fantastic oil. Doesn't matter what oil you use as long as it reacts well with your body and works well with your body. Hemp seed oil is actually more expensive than almond oil, so you're getting a better product from me as we talk about it. Okay. So use whatever oil you want. Avocado oil is great. Almond oil is great. Hemp seed oil is great. Castor, a little too thick for this on a daily is what I would recommend. Olive oil is another great one. So those are the oils I would recommend, and I've got hemp seed oil, so let's do that together. So yeah, let's make a daily beautiful skin mixture, okay? This is an infused oil. This is another herbal solution that you can make yourself every day. All right, I've got dried calendula flowers. They're beautiful. My favorite. I use them in my daily immunity too. All right, you're gonna pour them in, fill your jar. Now, because calendula is such a buoyant herb and has a lot of airspace in there, I'm gonna fill my jar all the way up with it because it's very buoyant and it's gonna leave a lot of air, all right? So this one, because it's so buoyant, goes all the way to the top. Ooh. All right, I'm gonna shake it down. Sorry if that was overly loud. And it's, just sitting in there nicely, not pushed down by any means, but just like hanging out. Jar full of calendula. All right, then you're gonna take your oil of choice. Now, hemp oil is green. Okay, so your oil doesn't have to be green, but it is going to mess kind of with the coloration a little bit because it's green to start off with. But any other oils you use, the oils that I have in there, just regular oil color, yellowish, right? Totally fine, so don't freak out because mine's green. Okay, can I pour it up here? I don't know. Hang on, I got to put this down. Can you still see? You can still see, and then I'll lift it up in just a minute. Sorry, my husband just poured mustard in the back if you heard that big fart noise. All right, so watch this. Now, it's bubbling down, so hopefully you could tell that. You can start to see it coming down. You're just going to let it sit, and look how much of it drank so much of that. Wow, it drank a lot of that. So I need more than that. That is not enough. Look how much of my herb is sitting out above the oil. It's really important when you're making infused oils, just like it is in tincture, but tincture, it's less likely to happen because of the vodka menstruum you're going to use. In infused oils, you've got to cover this all the way. Your plant material's got to be covered the whole way, or you're going to create a mold environment, all right? And we don't want mold in there, because then you got to throw this product out, and what a bummer after you've let it sit there for 6 weeks to throw it out for mold. So from the beginning, make sure it's covered all the way, all right? Now, I buy oil in large portions. You don't have to buy it in large portions. No, I hate dripping. Bummer. Don't say hate. I don't like that word. I tell my kids that all the time. Okay. I'm filling it up, and if you look close, I'm pretty full. I'm going to give it its first shake. Okay? So, same jar, right? Like, same. You'll get the idea. You just need mason jars and lids to make a lot of herbal medicine. So a lid on there, a ring, shake it, give it a nice little shake. Then I'm going to open it up, and it's going to drink a lot of this. I was winking at my husband. Sorry if that was awkward for anyone. Okay. It's going to drink a lot of it, so I need a little bit more. A little more. Okay, that is about perfect. When I'm making an infused oil, that is about perfect for me. All right? I'm going to put the lid on. I'm going to scrape some of these guys in there. Put them on, scrape them on my towel. Put my lid on. Now, infused oil sits the same way that a tincture does, okay? I like to say at least 6 weeks. Now, there are some herbalists, and there's probably some herbalists on here that are saying 6 weeks. Holy crap, I only let mine sit for 3 or 4. I know. I'm a little overcautious with it, but it's because I want my product to be punchy, like great. You know, I'm not just trying to do the bare minimum. I want fully macerated substance just to be awesome. So I don't know. That's what I go for. 6 is what I do. Devo, thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it, Devo. Yeah. Okay. Now, I'm going to label this the same way. I'm going to make sure that I label it as an oil. And even before your infused oils have finished macerating, if you've got something on your face going on, like my kiddo had something around his eye, it looked like some sort of eye rash. Thank you, Crystal. I appreciate it. It looked like some sort of eye rash, and I immediately just went and grabbed the calendula infused almond oil as it was still macerating, dipped it in there, put some on his eye. That's the beauty of having your own. Thank you, Samantha. That's the beauty of having your own herbal apothecary, you guys. You can just have this stuff ready on hand. It's not like, oh no, gotta go pick up my script. They're not on time. Thank you, Sharon. You know, it's nothing like that. That's not what you deal with herbal medicine. It's on your time. You're free. You can choose how to do it and how to use it, but you gotta have it made beforehand, or you're not gonna have that availability to do that, okay? All right, so let's label this one. Now, guys, I'm not going to lie. I can tell this is going to have to turn into a second live because I'm not going to be able to get through everything. I'm already 2 hours in, and I'm going to cut off soon, but we will do this again. We will do this again. And I'm excited to see who my top viewers were for my 2 little bags. I'm going to send these to you right after, so whoever the top 2 viewers were, you're going to get a message from me after, and I'll send you your little goodie bag. Yay! So stoked for you to get it and make your own tincture and all your other stuff. You can make salve with it. It's a great bag, a really great bag. Okay, so I've got a calendula infused oil. So I'm putting that whole thing on my label, not just calendula. Thank you, Sharon. Thank you, Sharon. Not just calendula. Calendula infused oil. Thank you. And I'm going to write down just like I would write down the menstruum I used for tincture, I'm going to write down the oil that I used for this one. Thank you. Thank you, Honda Pro. The oil that I used for this one is the hemp seed oil. Okay, so I'm going to write down hemp seed oil. Today's date, 1/26/24, let's go. And then, in particular, the reason that we made this one is going to be for skin. Okay, I could just write topical on my label. I could just write topical right below it. The problem with that is when my husband goes to grab it, when I'm like, hey, go grab the skin oil or whatever, he's going to see topical and be like, what the heck's that? I don't know what that is. I'm looking for skin, you know? So I like to label like that. I kind of mentioned at the beginning. I do the same thing here. Thank you, Crystal. Okay. Skin. I put it on the exact same way as I would the other ones. And if you didn't have that label, you tell me if you'd know what that was. The green would throw me off. The green would throw me off. I'd be like, ooh, man. Did I put peppermint in there? I'd be like, I don't know, what's her name? Is there chlorella? Is there something, what's in there? You know, so that would throw me off because I'd forget, be like, why'd I use a hemp oil? Why'd I do a calendula-infused hemp oil? I always do a calendula-infused almond oil. Like, my habits would lean that way. So then I'd be like, oh, yeah, I was doing that live and wanted to show them how to make that because that question came up. Because I want to tell people what's going on. So, label. Label, label, label. Okay, let's check the last of these questions. And then I'm going to have to go for the day. Let's see what's up, guys. Thank you, Jesse James. I loved making that with you guys. And then get cataracts in your 60s. No, I hope that's not in response to the looking at the eye thing. So cataracts can actually also be eliminated by sun gazing. So you wouldn't even have to be worrying about cataracts in your 60s because it can be completely eliminated by sun gazing. Let's go! What is this awesome outfit? That was amazing. Oh my gosh. I hope that shows up on my live later when I post these on YouTube because I like to post the lives on YouTube. Please show up later. That was amazing. Thank you, Honda Pro. So funny. Lives are like my new thing. I'm really obsessed. My eye muscles are weak. Yes, your eye muscles are weak because you're not allowing yourself to be exposed to the sunlight, okay? You need to go outside, lay there, sun gaze with your eyes closed, open it up in the morning and at night. Thank you, this little thing. You guys, thank you so much. That is like the sweetest thing. Thank you. I'm really stoked about this. Glad it's working and people are watching and obviously enjoying. Thank you. This means a lot. Thank you so much, guys. Eye muscles are weak, so you got to work them out. Just like you have a weak muscle, you wouldn't stop working out. You would go and you'd work it out, okay? So weak muscle doesn't mean stop working that muscle. It means you got to work it to make it stronger, all right? So work those eye muscles, make them stronger, and you're going to not notice the weakening eyes, because what do you get with weak eye muscles? This. Squinting. All this is weak eyes. Okay, you go outside and you're like, oof, trust me, I've been there before. I know, I've been there. Go outside, squinting. Thank you. Oh, thank you. That's what's going on there. Oh my cool. You guys, you don't wear sunglasses. It's like the coolest thing ever. I'm really stoked about it. Anyways, so thank you. I'm stoked. So to make them stronger, you need to go outside in the sun. Go outside in the sun, you guys, all right? Stop making them, oh, let's get even shadier in here. I am so entertained on my own live. Now I've got dancing fruit going on. Like, this is so awesome. I hope you're entertained. This is great. Oh, the #1 Honda Pro, thank you. #1 gifter badge, appreciate you. Blue eyes are more sensitive to light in general. Yeah. I have blue eyes, so if I get in there close, you'll see that my eyes are blue. Yeah, they do say that. They're more sensitive to light in general. I think they do definitely start off that way. For some reason, I think that we need like this extra exposure to the sun. Thank you, Samantha. Thank you, Ray. Like, I think for some reason we need this extra exposure, which goes into the weird light worker idea that, not weird, just different than most people. Thank you, Samantha, title gifter. But it goes into that idea of being a light worker and what that means. And I don't know. I find it interesting. But yes, you're right. They are, they do need more sun exposure. Thank you so much. You guys are so awesome. So I don't know for sure about that and what that means, but I do find it interesting that there are different eye colors and those eyes respond differently to elements around us, and I think that that means something for us. Nothing's coincidence in my mind, so that's where I go with that. Lots to find out. No staring into the sun. Yeah, definitely don't stare in direct sunlight, guys, but high gazing is with your eyes closed, so hopefully you were seeing that. Hey girl, I've meaning to ask you a question. Nicole Hansen, how are you? Yeah, definitely ask. Hopefully I'm back to the top. Thank you guys so much. That was so awesome. Thank you. You're making the calendula oil now? Let's go, Devo. Let's go. Make it right now. That's so great. I'm so glad. Okay, with contacts on or off? Contacts off. So if you're sun gazing, contacts off. So eyes closed, contacts out already, no glasses on. You're just sun gazing with just your natural eye. You're trying to train that eye to do better and work better for you in its natural state. No assistance, okay? And throughout the day, as you need assistance, but during your sun gazing, no assistance. Natural state will make it stronger. It'll be able to work harder, okay? If it always has that crutch and that assistance there, it's never really fully working as hard as it can for you. Let it work for you. Take off its crutches, okay? Let's see. Thank you for all the comments. You're my spirit animal. Thank you. You know, spirit animals, completely interesting thing to talk about. Spirit animals come and go in your life, and sometimes different animals will mean more to you at different times than others will, and it's really important to look into them. So one of the things I tell clients, I send a free gift all the time with my purchases, and it'll come, and people will say, what is that? The purpose of doing that is for me to say, I want them to be like, oh, what is that? And then go Google it, right? Or then go Bing it, and then go DuckDuckGo it, so that they learn something. It's meaningful to them. And so that's what I do with spirit animals when there's like an animal that's standing out to me or something. I'll go and I'll look up what's the spiritual significance of blank. And I do that all the time for lots of different things. So I would highly encourage you to do that if you're interested in any of the spirit side of it. I know Grand Fan Farm's that's not what I'm supposed to be talking about in there, but I really am into all of that. And so if you want to know something, and the reason I send all those little gifts is because I want you to go look it up. Figure out what it means to you. I don't know why I sent it to you. I did. So figure it out. Figure out why. So we're all here to figure out our own journeys, and we have helpers along the way, but no one can just guide you the whole way. So I'm really glad to be pointed in the direction of spirit animals when they come. So cool. I'd love to be your spirit animal. Hopefully I taught you something good and made you feel good about yourself. Okay, I think I've hit most of these. Let's see. Team bracelet. Thanks, Gypsy Mom. Love my team bracelet. Calendula oil now. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, Honda Pro, again. Those were sick. Thank you, guys. Sharon, you're amazing. Blue Eyes. Okay, I think I'm caught up. Do you have a book you suggest for beginners? Yes. Rosemary Gladstar. Let me just run. Hang on. Let me grab it off from my room. Hilarious. You're still there, and I was getting a phone call the whole time. Okay, so let me go read some of the books I was looking for. Midwest Medicinal Plants is great. It's one that I've used for a really long time. Super good for foraging. Look, there's mullein right there. There's mullein right there. We were just talking about that. That's the start of a mullein before it gets to its little stage that I was talking about earlier. Pictures are really good. Any books that are like prepper books, they're great. Lost Book of Herbal Remedies I showed earlier. I was looking for Rosemary Gladstars in there. I didn't find it though, but I have another herbal medicine handbook. Crystallary, because we were just talking about all those crystals I give you. That's a great book. Off-Grid Living teaches you a lot of cool tricks on tincture and stuff too. The Lost Superfood. So there's a lot of good ones. I'm not biased when it comes to what herb book you should use. You should go and find anything that calls to you. Alright guys, then check your sources with others, and always make sure you're looking for the contraindications of herbs and any warnings you should be giving along with the herbs when you're giving them to your clients. You always want to make sure to put those on your labels and to make sure to communicate those clearly. But that's what I would say when you're first getting started. So no one book, no one size fits all. There's a lot of different ways you can go down your own rabbit holes and figure out what works for you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Congrats, Rose, as Little the Creative Script Gallery. Thank you. You guys are awesome. Okay, hey girl, I've been meaning to ask you a question. Nicole, what's up? No staring sun. Okay, so now I'm getting down. Just joined. Thanks, Roping. Pooah. Laugh out loud. I tried. Samantha. I don't know what it means. Hopefully, maybe I missed something. I have light hazel eyes and they're sensitive to light. Yes. Are there any contraindications of taking multiple herb medications at the same time? So let's talk about that. Yes, so St. John's wort sometimes is one that I give people a warning on. St. John's wort, if you're mixing them, that'd be one that I always say, watch out for. Make sure skullcap and St. John's wort, you shouldn't be mixing more than the herbs you're familiar with when you're using those herbs. Now, skullcap and St. John's wort, when I use those in any sort of mixed tinctures, they're not going to have contraindications with the herbs that I've put in that tincture. So I know that I use skullcap in a couple of my herbs. I think it's in my headache remedy. It's in another one of my tinctures too. Maybe my white blood cell tincture. So it's in those, and the herbs that I've chosen to go in there with them, no, there will not be contraindications with those herbs, but yes, certain herbs can have contraindications with one another, but they're not the same thing as a pharmaceutical contraindication, and they're not as likely. So for the majority of the time, there's always herbs that are the exclusion that make me make this point here. But for the majority of the time, you're fine with all the medicinal or the regular herbs that you've heard about before and that you see around you. You want to be careful with something like pokeberry, right? Or pokeberry, the reason I say that, they're the berries that are, people sometimes call them pigweed. If you've heard of pigweed before, pokeberry, they grow on a little tiny, almost like banana looking plant, and a little bit is what I always think of. You just want to not take too much of anything, and don't take it raw or unprocessed if you don't know how to process it the right way. Same thing with like elderberry. You got to be really careful. You got to process them the right way. Make sure they're fully dried when you're using a lot of the berries that you would use in herbal tincture, like a pokeberry or elderberry. You want to make sure they're really dried, you guys. It could create toxic substances, acid. It could kill you. So you got to be careful with that. But the herbs that we talked about today, the contraindications that they have, or that you wouldn't have any contraindications with what we talked about today. Unless you're taking pharmaceuticals, and then you're going to have contraindications with your pharmaceuticals with these ones. Okay, hopefully I answered that. Oh, that was Nicole. There you go, Nicole. There's your question. Perfect. Wait, what? My eyes are blue. That's why I have a light sensitivity? Maybe. Also because maybe not enough exposure to the light. There's no one reason for everybody. Aloha, aloha, Robin. Kapua 1. Hello. Do you have to refrigerate that face oil you made? No, definitely do not refrigerate it. You don't want to refrigerate herbal products. You want to keep them at a regular room temperature, 60 to 70 degrees-ish in there. But don't refrigerate, no need to. It'll stay really good for you, and as long as you're using the dried calendula, you shouldn't have any problem with mold. It should be a shelf-stable oil for you, okay? Cool, exciting. Okay, so sun glazing, when you're sun gazing, your eyes are closed, okay? So remember, eyes closed. I'm sun gazing in the morning for 15 to 20 minutes as the sun is rising, or I'm sun gazing in the evening for 15 to 20 minutes when the sun is setting. Eyes closed the whole time, staring directly at the sun when I'm sun gazing, okay? Cool. What do you use calendula oil for? So calendula oil, all things skin. Beautiful skin, think calendula. Could alcohol tinctures be used with children? I don't recommend that, only because it's illegal. But alcohol tinctures should be replaced with an apple cider vinegar menstruum, so something like this that has the mother inside of it that I was hoping to get today, but my life turned extremely long. Apple cider vinegar menstruum with the mother is a great alternative for vodka menstruum, for tincture, or alcohol menstruum. And then you can also use glycerin with kiddos. Glycerin's great. It actually tastes a little better for them, and it's a little sweeter, more like a sugary taste, so they end up liking it a little bit better with glycerin in there. So those are my suggestions with kiddos. Ashley. Okay, what will help hidradenitis suppurativa? You have to tell me what that is, and I'll be able to help you. Sarah, follower. Hey, you got any ideas for lead poisoning? I'm taking so much vitamins, but I don't know. Yeah, lead poisoning, highly recommend a liver cleanse. Highly recommend distilled water to get that pulled out. Really, really get the distilled water going, and I recommend you start colloidal silver. Seems counterintuitive because it's lead poisoning. Your body needs that assistant right now, that antibacterial, antimicrobial, and antifungal, to help clean out that unwanted excess heavy metal, okay? Everything kind of goes into a different category when it's going into your body. When it gets into your body's not this stupid thing. It's extremely smart, and it's really good at categorizing as things go into it. And so just because one category is full and overflowing doesn't mean that another category is, okay? So if you've got a lot of lead and that category is overflowing and overfull, doesn't mean that your silver category is anywhere near touched or full or anything, okay? So you got to make sure that you're balancing everything out, everything in moderation, and you really want to make sure to be targeting, like if you've got a lead, what did you say? Oh, sorry. Lead poisoning. I mean, I would treat it just like you would any sort of toxic thing. Charcoal, activated charcoal, I would definitely be putting that into your body. Activated charcoal is great to be pulling that kind of stuff out, especially if you're someone that's been taking a lot of vaccines or had a lot of vaccines in you. Really need activated charcoal to pull all that through your system. Burdock root's a blood cleanser, of course, so a blood cleanser is going to be helpful during this time to pull that out as well. But I would highly recommend distilled water and to go on a healthy plant-based diet as you're pulling that stuff out. Good luck. I make calendula rose oil. I love calendula rose oil. Calendula rose is probably my favorite combination of skin care products. I really do enjoy them. I use a rose oil a lot too on my legs. and feet. So I love rose oil. It was my grandpa's favorite. Well, not his favorite. His favorite was patchouli. That's a lie. He really liked rose oil too. And rose oil has just this smell. It's not good. It's like you'd think rose oil would smell so good. It's kind of strange. It's kind of a strange smell. So I always think of Granddad when I think of rose oil. But yeah, it's great stuff. Excuse me as I cough all over myself. Oh gosh, sorry guys. Which is stronger, teas or tincture? Tinctures are stronger. Tinctures get the nice quick punch right in you. But if you take enough tea, and it would take, for one tincture, you're going to take at least 2 to 3 glasses of tea, at least. That's my thought with it. So tincture stronger gets the job done quicker. Your spirit is so delightful. Thank you. I really appreciate that, Epic Well. Thank you. Anything for celiac disease? Yes, for celiac disease, I highly recommend the white blood cell ones that are going to punch the white blood cells. So frankincense, papaya leaf, because that's going to increase the blood platelet count. So that's really important when you're thinking of that. Myrrh. There's a reason frankincense and myrrh and all these different things were given, okay? Colloidal gold is really, really good for that. There's a lot of different ones that you can do, but you want to target that white blood cell. I've got a white blood cell tincture at grandfamfarm.com, and I also have an immune system boost tincture, so like an alfalfa would be good for you as well, too. Where are the awesome crates from? Thanks! Aren't those cool? My wedding. I've been married for 11 years. They were just regular wooden crates, and I painted them brown for my wedding. Aren't they cool? My husband's in there working on my new herb room. It's going to be so cool. I'm so excited, but he's in there working on it right now, and these are some of the new things that are going to go in there, and I just pulled them out and grabbed them for this, but thank you. I really appreciate them. I should put something on my TikTok shop like that, because I saw them the other day on there. Gigi, that's cute. Gigi or Gigi? I don't know. The Good Life by J.K. Ventures. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, did I actually get everyone? That's awesome. Thank you. Nice to see the older crowd streaming on TikTok. Let's go. Let's go. Where are the crates from? Someone else. Let's go. Oh, wait, Gigi, that was you again. Okay, mimosa flower tincture thoughts. Mimosa flower tincture for what? I would say yes, but for what? I want to know more specifically what you're talking about at Flora, but yeah. Yeah, I just did a daylily tincture this spring. Really good one, especially for breast health issues. Anyone dealing with like lymphatic system, breast health stuff, sluggish system, you're going to look to the flowers usually. They usually help with that. What's good for headache? We talked about that earlier. Peppermint, spearmint, chamomile, all those are going to be really, really good for headache and to keep that headache from coming in. I'm winding down, guys. I'm trying to hit everything. When mixing, should I do 2 separate tinctures and combine, or both herbs in the same jar? So, that's a preference thing. They always recommend that new herbalists do separate tinctures, a mono tincture. One herb tincture and this herb tincture, and I know I'm going to use this one for this and this one for this. And I know if I have a bad reaction to this one, it's because I was taking this one. It helps you pinpoint down and really know what you react to negatively and what you don't. But if you've been taking herbal medicine for a while and you're familiar with the herbs that you're going to tincture with, I highly recommend tincturing them in the same one. And it makes for sometimes a stronger, better tincture because they work together better sometimes. Just like companion plants in a garden, sometimes tincture and the plant material you work with works better with friends. Okay, and so a lot of them will work better if you tincture together, especially on the palate, like the taste-wise palate. There's a lot of things you can do to mix them in there so you're actually able to take something like ashwagandha or wormwood, actually stomach that. So I highly recommend mixing together. Great question. The Good Life by JK. I'm curious too. Well, there you go. Do you list those books on your page anywhere? I missed a few. Yeah, so on my TikTok, I've got a video where I go through all the books that are in my cabinet, at least that I could find that day. I'm like on my bookshelf scrolling through. You'll find that on there. You'll love it. It's a really good one. I kind of talk about each one a little bit more. And then I'm getting a deal together with some of these companies to where I can start selling some of their books and making a little bit for the farm, which would be really nice. So I'd love to see which books they send me that I can tell you about too. So hopefully that works out for all of us. Rubba Girl. That's cute. Okay, let's see. None of the books I've referenced contras with herbs. Do you have one to recommend? Okay. On that video, so the Chinese traditional medicine books really talk about them a lot. And okay, so let's be honest about contraindications with herbs, you guys. Let's be really honest with that. It's so rare. Herbs contraindicate with pharmaceuticals. Okay, that's what's really happening there. Contraindications, herb on herb, is so rare. It's so rare. And it's herbs that are usually root herbs, okay? A lot of your root herbs are known to be contraindicators. A lot of your colored root herbs are known to be contraindicators, but a lot of these guys, when everyone freaks out on the herbicide, it's because of us herbalists have to be so careful about recommending herbal products when people are taking pharmaceuticals. Herbs contraindicate with a lot of pharmaceuticals, all right? But together, herb on herb, I'm not as concerned. I'm concerned if you don't know your herbs and might get a poisonous herb. That's more concerning to me than herb on herb contraindications. That's not, they're very extremely rare. And you've got to be using something like even maca isn't going to do that. Even red root doesn't. I mean, St. John's wort and skullcap are the two that are kind of like, watch out for contraindications, and honestly, 95% of the time, it's just with pharmaceuticals. But everyone's different. I don't want to say 100% of the time. I'd be a bad herbalist if I said that. All right. None of the books, okay, perfect, Nicole Hansen. But Nicole, is this my cousin, Nicole Hansen? Is this my cousin, Nicole Hansen? That'd be awesome if you're watching. Awesome. If not, what's up? Got a cousin, Nicole Hansen. If you're wanting to learn more about them, I highly recommend identifying the plants around you first and learning their medicinal value, and then you're not having to go out and source an herb source or a product source. You're just using what's always around you. But don't use anything that's been sprayed. Okay, so no spraying, anything that's had herbicide around it. Don't do it near the roads or near like an easement. Anyone that has like an easement, like a wire easement, usually those people spray. So nothing around spray. But as long as you're doing the right harvesting or the right foraging, you should use the herbs around you. And you're not going to find a lot that contraindicate. If you're worried about some, isolate those and set them aside. There's tons that you can use that you don't have to be worried about in that way. I have the worst sore throat that won't go away, but it's not strep. What should I do? I highly recommend colloidal silver, but you can also use mullein and elecampane. They're really, really good for sore throat, so mullein and elecampane are great. Marshmallow root is also really soothing for the sore throat, but I highly recommend colloidal silver. It'll take care of it fast. There's been a lot of junk going on lately, and it seems to just like nip it in the bud really quickly. Oh, I'm sorry, I missed one. Do you make your own echinacea tincture? Yes, I do. I just made it actually just now. We all made it together at the beginning of this live stream. Echinacea tincture, tiny little bottle. I'm going to sip it out. In fact, before I go, I'll strain because I said I would strain before I go. And I know it's turned into the longest live ever, but I will definitely strain really quickly. Can I see the crystal book again so I can buy one? Definitely, Devo. Are you kidding me? This is the best book ever. I think I found it at Tractor Supply. Tractor Supply. Are you kidding me? Telling me the apocalypse is here. Well, it's a Crystillery book at Tractor Supply. I was like, let's go. This is amazing. Okay. Usually I had to search and like sift through. 10 years ago, I would never find a crystal book anywhere. Great book. Cilantro for metals. Yes, thank you. Good call. Cilantro is great for metals, great for detoxifying metals. Who is that? Brian Hark. Thank you so much, Brian. Great point. Yes. HS are boils. Boils. Okay, so internal boils or external boils. Okay, so boils in general, you're going to want to be looking at the stomach. I would recommend a turmeric. I would recommend a neem. I would also recommend colloidal copper, you guys, to be honest with you. Even colloidal silver is really good for that too. All of that stuff, you're telling me you need a reset going on. I also recommend a liver cleanse probably because it sounds to me like a bunch of stuff backing up, and now boils and things. When you're seeing boils and stuff, you're seeing the very last of the cause, okay? You're seeing something that's coming much later than the actual cause of it. So make sure that you're cleaning out that liver, heavily rely on that distilled water, and remember to watch your diet, okay? You never know when there's boils and different things like that, if there's some sort of allergen happening, if there's some sort of environmental factor, you don't know. So that's why I love to talk one-on-one with clients. So always feel free to message me. I message people all the time. So feel free to message me and let's talk one-on-one about what's going on with your situation. I would love to do that. HS are boils. What helps with Hashimoto's? Hashimoto's, that's anything white blood cell, people. Anything white blood cells. So papaya leaf. Papaya leaf's like my go-to for white blood cell. Actually, that's a lot. Frankincense, papaya leaf, myrrh. Those are like my 3 go-to for anything white blood cell. Boom, that's what I think you should have. Alfalfa is great. Sarsaparilla is great. Sarsaparilla is a really good one, actually. Great for liver too. So, but those are great ones that you should really lean towards because they're white blood cell helpers. Anything that's going to boost that immune system, that's where you want to go with that. So yeah, good luck with that. And I know I've seen people work it that way, okay? And like I said, go online. My white blood cell tincture is a great one at grimfinfarm.com. Any help for vertigo? So vertigo can be caused by lots of different things. Vertigo is more of an environmental reaction sometimes than an internal reaction, but I have seen liver cleanse work it out. One of the main things I've seen is yoga. Yoga is actually fantastic for vertigo. So if you're interested in how to relieve vertigo naturally without maybe having to do substances in your life, then you should definitely look to yoga and some of the exercises that they have for vertigo. It's really, really helpful. Angel G, my fermented garlic and honey really helped me with this. Oh, good, good. Okay, well, there you go. Hang on. So, Angel G, listen to that. Fermented garlic and honey really helped them. Thank you, Nicole. KK, what helps with Hashimoto? We talked about that. Nicole Hampson, okay, here we go. Thanks, love. Perfect. What do you take if your liver enzymes are up? So if your liver enzymes are up, that makes me think that you need a liver cleanse. It's an unbalanced liver when I see the liver enzymes are up, and it's kind of like a help call from the liver. So the liver's like, help me! Something's going on! So you really need to clean it out. I would work on better eating habits if I were you, and then looking at those herbs that are going to be pigeonholed to that liver. So dandelion root, burdock root, anything that's cleaning the blood is going to clean the liver. Look at your culinary herbs, thyme, marjoram, rosemary. Those are oregano, Tulsi basil. Man, Tulsi basil, I can't believe I haven't hit on that today. Tulsi basil can help with most of these things, okay? Very, very, Tulsi, also called holy basil. Very, very strong herb, flowers purple, it's beautiful, okay? Tulsi basil is where it's at. Would highly recommend looking into some of these things. And you can keep a lot of these in your kitchen because they're culinary herbs, you guys. Keep them in your kitchen, darn it, and just use them when you need them. I love sneaking them in my family's food. They love that, okay? Tastes great, and they're getting a medicinal little punch on it too. Natural living is key. It's not just looking for the herbs to mask a situation. Thank you so much. We're so used to that with our pharmaceuticals these days. Let's look to this herb and it will mask this I'm dealing with. No. That's not what it's for. We're here to fix the problem, the underlying problem. We don't care about masking all of these things, the cries for help from your body. We want to fix it, all right? And so a lot of them come with a cleanse of the entire body. A lot of people need a liver cleanse, guys. And if you've had a liver cleanse before and you're still dealing with some of these things, I highly recommend you watch your water intake and you start your body moving. Start your body moving around. Sometimes people are in a really toxic environment as well. There's a lot of things that can play into that. So if you find that you're just going through the same things all the time, watch your environment, you guys. You know, come on, let's take some self-control. What's going on in our environment? Fix it. But I'd love to help. Let's talk more one-on-one. So send me a message. I'd love to chat and see if we can figure it out together, okay? Okay, what do you take? We talked about liver enzymes. What do we get if we subscribe? So if you subscribe, I've got this really cool thing. Every note, so every class I do like a bunch of notes. I prep for the class and I'm like, oh, what am I going to do? You know, here's all my notes. There's the other page. And so you get all my notes. It tells you what herbs I'm going to use, what the herbs are for. And then I've got my little recipes in the back that I like to do. And I'll send you all my herbs. So like each one of these, each class, each live that I do, you'll get my little notes from the class and my recipe from the class. So I'll always have one of those going on. And every subscriber will get it. I'll get it emailed to you and we'll get your email addresses and everything going on like that. So that's what subs get right now, and eventually I thought you could put them together, and it'd be a book. You know, eventually it's going to be a book. I've already held like 4 or 5 TikTok classes before, so it's really helpful information, and so I wanted to be able to do that for subscribers, and that's what they get right now. And then we're going to have another tier later, and that's in the works, but that's to come. So please subscribe if you want to. I'm really stoked to be doing this, and thank you for literally making my dreams come true. I'm really, really excited. Thank you. Okay, mold exposure. What about it, Beth? It says, Beth said it, mold exposure. Let's talk about that. Because sometimes mold exposure can be a good thing. Oh, thank you, Angel G. Thank you. Yeah, sometimes mold exposure can be a good thing. Like mycelium, and when you're growing mushrooms and when you're looking at mycelia and how that whole process works. And just like what mycelia even is, and is it more of like a network of brain cells and communication cells than anything? And mold is so interesting. Mold is so interesting to me. So I wouldn't just go off the bat and say, if you're trying to say mold exposure is bad, I don't know. I wouldn't just say that all the way. There's a lot of mushrooms and other sorts of molds that are actually super beneficial to us and can be very helpful to us. So just a generic mold, I don't want mold in my tincture. If that's what you're saying, you're exactly right. Definitely don't want mold in my tincture. So if you're saying that, I'm there with you. But yeah, it's interesting. I don't know if just mold itself is what they say it is. So Let's see. We're going to learn a lot. We're going to learn a lot, guys. KK, yes, I second. Awesome. What helps with Hashimoto's? Hopefully you guys got your answers there. If not, hit me up. Angel G, I use fresh ginger tea with honey and garlic and onion honey coughs. Love it. Thank you so much. Who is this? Sanday Sonday. Love it. Thank you. I use activated charcoal. Yay. I use it like once a week. Is that okay? Devo? So yeah, I mean, if you want to use activated charcoal once a week, sure. You're just like super duper clean. If there's a reason to, maybe like sometimes I hear of like intestinal parasites, which is when I recommend activated charcoal quite a bit. But if you're doing like your round of intestinal parasites or something like that to get it out, sure. Yay, Nave! You got me by 5! Woo! Thank you! I'm so excited. Thank you so much. My goal was 5, so I'm excited. Yay! Thank you! I'm so excited. Yeah, so you definitely can use it every day. It's a great all-natural cleanse, get everything out of your body. That's actually the most natural way to filter water, so it's the same thing with our body. The most natural way to filter it is using activated charcoal. Thank you, Corey. So, Sarah, Michaela, anything to prevent varicose veins in legs? So, there's a bunch of kind of weird tips and tricks with those. First, be careful on crossing your legs too much. Doing that, over-crossing your legs or over-sitting in a certain direction can lead to varicose veins. One thing you can do to help them if they're already there is to get your body moving more, okay? Do yoga more. The more blood flow you can get in that area will really help to just make them try to go back down. Now, when it comes to the herbal stuff, here's what I highly recommend. So you can get a lot of different herbs that are, oh, thank you, who is this? Corey, thank you. I'm talking to you right now, Corey. What are you gifting me for? Thank you, appreciate you. You can get a lot of different herbs that are really going to help squeeze in some of those veins, okay? Some of those herbs that I highly recommend, of course, burdock. Sorry, my nose was itching. Thank you so much, Corey. Thank you so much. Of course, burdock's my number one when it comes to the veins and the stretching of the veins and everything like that. But you're going to think this one's weird. Flaxseed, okay? My next solution to you is flaxseed. Flaxseed is so strange. Thank you, Honda Pro. That's so sweet. You can put flaxseed in water and let it sit there for a little bit. I talked about this before on another live because I put it on my face as a natural Botox. But you can do the same thing on varicose veins. All right, you can take the flaxseed, put it in water. When you take it, let it sit there. I say overnight in the fridge. You can boil it too. Put flaxseed. Oh man, you're catching me on the spot here. So maybe like 1/4 cup of flaxseed with a cup of water. You can bring it to a boil, bring it down to a simmer for 5 minutes, and you're going to see that it starts to get coagulated a little bit. That coagulation naturally comes out of the flax, and you're going to want to put that cream on. If you get varicose veins back here or something, put that substance on your veins, okay? And it'll squeeze it and restrict it and eventually make it so they go back down. Thank you, Hunter Pro. That was so sweet. That's what you're eventually going to do there. Now, another thing, diet. A plant-based diet is said to help out with those varicose veins. So there's quite a few things you can do there, Corey. I hope all of those helped out, or at least one of them helped out, and you can take little baby steps towards a happier, healthier you. But yeah, really do yoga. Yoga can be amazing. Moving your body, getting those veins moving and flowing and moving will do amazing stuff for you. Okay, let's see what else we've got. Jessie May, thank you. Future president. Thank you. Let's go. Thank you, Honor Pro, future president. I would run this thing. Let me just tell you, I would run this thing. I got some ideas for that. First thing would happen to be federal government. Bye-bye. Okay, share the live. What happens with Hashimoto's? So with Hashimoto's, basically your white blood cells need a lot of assistance. They're not able to effectively fight in the way that they are meant to effectively fight, and so they are basically asking for help, and they're getting taken over, unfortunately. So that's what's going on with Hashimoto's. Your white blood cell's not actually effectively able to fight off what it should fight off. I know there's a lot of jargon about it, but that's what it boils down to, what's going on. So with Hashimoto's, you really need an enhancement of your immune system. You need a better immune system. You need to better actively have white blood cells that can fight. And why I said it's better for a plant-based diet is because you need that animal fat out of your bloodstream in order to open up the blood vessels and the blood veins to get more blood and then fight this thing. And that's how this helps, okay? White blood cells don't fight well in an oily environment. In fact, there was a test they did. I wish I could remember the university that did it. I'm sure you'll be able to Google it and find it. There was a test they did. They monitored white blood cells, they being doctors, monitored white blood cells in an environment of super fatty, oily environment, very fatty, like a fat blood, a thicker blood, because your blood gets, the viscosity of your blood changes depending on what you eat, okay? They monitored the white blood cells in that sort of an environment, and then they monitored the white blood cells in an environment where the blood did not have fat in it. It was very thin, it ran very well. They monitored the workings of the white blood cells in both environments. And the white blood cells in the oily environment were like comatose, like hardly able to work at all. It was just the sheer functioning of them couldn't happen. Thank you so much. Okay, they couldn't function. They were literally like comatose. Okay, and what that shows me is that our bodies are super impacted by what we eat, and they're gonna scream out for help in any way they can to make us stop eating that way. All right, and so that's when you get your Hashimoto's and a lot of things where you're attacking, your body's attacking itself over and over again. That's telling me your blood needs a clean out. Your blood needs a clean out. You can start that clean out by giving yourself a liver clean out, and then you need to give yourself the blood cleanse, but then you need to eat better, guys. You've got to eat better. All right, it's very important. We do not harp on it enough. We should be pushing more education on our food and what should go into how we should eat. That should be part of our education, and it's not. And we really should have that, because it would help us a lot of us on the back end that are dealing with these chronic issues. All of them can be reversed and stopped on the front end if we would just actually do these small steps. Thank you, Honda Pro. You're so sweet. Thank you, Honda Pro. So we just got to do these small steps that we can over and over again, you guys, and then allow our systems to reset itself. Okay? Honda Pro, that's so sweet. Thank you. And a finger heart. Oh, I love it. Okay, any herbs for PTSD fatigue? Yes, definitely. Chamomile is one of the first ones that I go to for that. You really just need to calm it. Valerian root comes to mind for that. A more calming demeanor is really what you're looking for. Spearmint's good to calm. Chamomile is one of my, valerian root and chamomile are my great ones for those. Yeah. Fatigue, if you're saying you're too tired, that could lead me to believe you have like a thyroid issue. If you're saying you just need energy, maca root is highly recommended for men for energy and highly recommended for men for just their whole system. Maca root, in fact, I have a maca root over here somewhere. I was going to make it. So it's highly recommended. That's what I definitely recommend for that. What is the shelf life of these oils? So these oils should be shelf stable as long as you're not adding anything to them like a water or contaminant in the substance when you're using it. They're shelf stable. They should last you forever. You shouldn't have any problems with them. The problem is when you get a really bad manufacturer that's got stuff in their oil and the oil never started off pure. So make sure you're doing cold pressed oils that are very pure and organic, and you know where they're sourced from. I had 2 sepsis 2 times from UTIs. Okay, right there. I'm telling you right now, you need an immunity. You need calendula in your life. You need a daily tea to get that. If you're talking about sepsis in your system, you need a liver cleanse and a blood cleanse. I would highly recommend burdock. Allow these things to get in your body and clean it out. There's a lot of toxins being stored up if you're septic. And a lot of that can happen sometimes if you're dealing with pharmaceuticals and they're giving you like an antibiotic. It's taking away all the good bacteria too. All of it's gone. So if you're taking antibiotics at all, your good bacteria is gone. You need to eat like 7 times better if you've taken an antibiotic. And because you need a prebiotic, not a probiotic, a prebiotic. A prebiotic is getting these good antibodies from the food. Fermented foods, right? Let's get some good fermented foods going on. Some seaweed, different seaweed's not fermented, but it's another one that'll give you that good anti-gut bacteria. Naturally fresh foods. These are prebiotics that can help your system make probiotics, the good things that you need to recover from what you went through. Doesn't mean you're screwed, right? Oh no, I took antibiotics and I don't know what to do. No. These bodies, they're machines, boy. Like, they're awesome. They're amazing, okay? They can always bounce back, but you gotta start that bounce back process at some point. If you never start the bounce back process, they're never gonna be able to bounce back. So start it so they can bounce back, and they learn very quick. Very quick. It's just like anything else you do with practice. Your body's got to practice the right habits, and then it will form the right habits. Okay? Practice makes perfect. I will throw this in about gum. I know I do say this too. I was thinking a practice thing. I know I put this in other videos, but gum. Gum makes it so your body practices the wrong thing over and over and over and over. okay? If you're having a problem with digestion and digesting food, and you are a gum chewer that chews a lot of gum, it's probably your problem, okay? Gum teaches your body that digestion is easy. As soon as you start chewing the gum, it's like chewing, chewing, chewing. Well, that act of chewing creates saliva, and as soon as the saliva is created, your body down here is turned on. Your stomach is ready to go. And so it's like, yeah, we're digesting because we're chewing. We're digesting. Digestion's so easy, but there's no food going down you. No food. There's no food going into your stomach. So your stomach's digesting nothing, right? But it's like, digestion's so easy. Digestion's so easy. Then, the next time you chew, you actually have food. So now you're chewing food, and your stomach's like, oh my gosh, when did digestion become so difficult? Digestion's so hard. Oh, digestion. And it's freaking out on you. But then you go chew gum again. It's, oh, digestion. That thing I ate must have just sucked. Digestion's so easy because you're chewing gum, guys. You're tricking your body, people. It's a trick. It's a trick, okay? Treat your body like you would training a puppy or training any other sort of animal. You want to be very clear about what you want. Same thing with training your mind. Be clear about what you want. Be clear and be focused, and then do what it takes to attain that goal, okay? So that's what I would say to that. Good luck with it, though. How do I treat that damage? Megan, thank you. So hopefully I answered that question with that. Hopefully that's questions. Okay, lymphatic system. I'm getting there really quickly. Okay, so lymphatic system. I'll show you a quick move really quickly to get lymphatic system for being so sluggish. I also highly recommend that you get yourself some echinacea. Really focus on like a bindweed tincture for your breast health, and you can start it off that way. I have a very good cancer kicker and anti-cancer tea online at grahamfamfarm.com. Check them out. GRAHAMFAMFARM.com. But watch this. Okay, I've done this in a video, so I'll do it really quickly. It won't take as long now. I learned this in Tai Chi. This is great for lymphatic system stimulation. Okay, so you're going to start hitting right here. My hands in like this. It's like a little mouth, okay? Keep hitting. Sorry if you've seen this already on my TikTok. I'm going to hit about 15 to 20 times right in that spot, okay? 15 to 20 times. Then I'm going to switch to the other side. 15 to 20 times. Now you can hear the jingle all the way. Sorry, my hand's supposed to be right here. Caught me off guard, guys. 15, 20 times. Then, punch your arms. Punch your arms. Punch your arms. Alright, that just stimulated your lymphatic system, your heart, and your lungs, okay? Movement is very, very important with all of that. You can also use lots of herbs to get that sluggish system moving and grooving again. Another great thing for a sluggish system, colloidal copper, you guys. Colloidal copper. There's a reason I have so much colloidal copper around my house. It's a great natural thing, trace mineral that we have receptors for. We should use it as often as we can to get the benefits out of it. Lymphatic system, perfect. Any help for vertigo? Vertigo, we talked about that. Let's do yoga, people. I would highly recommend yoga, and then I recommend turmeric for cleaning out that brain, cleaning out some of those connectors up there and those synapses. Hello, Sandy Pearson Duncan. Hello, Odessa friend. Hi, I'm originally from Odessa, Missouri, so this is a friend of mine from Odessa. Hi, Sandy. Excited to be on. I love doing TikToks later and seeing people later in life when I haven't seen them for so many years. Really cool stuff. Odessa, Missouri is where I'm originally from. Go Bulldogs. Which flour? Sorry, Angel, don't know which question you were asking. What is the shelf life for these oils? Constant shelf life for the rest of your life, forever. What flowers? Again, I'm so sorry, guys. Did I miss a question? What helps Hashimoto's? We did that. Lots of anything that helps white blood cell, frankincense, myrrh, all that. Making I use grapeseed extract, liquid concentrate, but in a capsule. Thank you, Sandy. What flowers for lymphatic? Oh, flowers for lymphatic. Okay, so bindweed is what it's called. Bindweed is for the lymphatic system. It's a great one for the lymphatic system. And also daylily. Daylily, tiger lily, those are great for the lymphatic system. My husband keeps falling. He's had a lot of mucus. What can help with that and vertigo? Mullein. Okay, so colloidal silver, 100% I recommend. Sounds like he's got a lot of mucus on top of those receptors, which is usually what happens with vertigo. A lot of mucus is caking those receptors and allowing us to be disoriented and not fully understand where we are with vertigo. 100% I recommend colloidal silver. We make some on our website, grahamfamfarm.com, or you can get it from any reputable health food store, but he needs to get a cleanse. Also, I recommend distilled water, because anything he's going to take on top of that, it's going to go right through him. His receptors are so clogged up that he needs those things to clear out the receptors first. I'm almost done. I've got 9 minutes. I'm so sorry. I hope you're loving it. I mean, I'm loving it. I just didn't think I'd be on this long. I have wormwood. Awesome. Before a parasite detox, how do I prepare my body for it? Okay, so if you've got wormwood to prepare for that, first off, get ready for wormwood. Boy, is it bitter. So get ready for wormwood. So to prepare your body, I definitely recommend you going and drinking distilled water for 2 weeks. You can eat your regular food. Try to keep it as plant-based and as fresh as possible during your 2-week fast. You're not just drinking water for 2 weeks. I mean, you're just drinking distilled water, and you can still eat as you normally would. I just want you to focus a bit more on healthier foods during that time. After that 2 weeks, a lot of the mucus that is built up in your system from all the crap food you've been eating and drinking should be taken away by that distilled water, and then you're going to be able to take wormwood via tea. Now, wormwood via tea is very harsh, so I highly recommend adding some honey to it. And if you have time, I would start a wormwood tincture now. Wait the 6 weeks, start the tea now, but then take it via tincture, because wormwood tincture is harsh and your body needs it. So tincture is the best way to get down those harsh medicines that your body needs and aren't very fun to take. That's what I recommend there. Never mind. Sorry, KK. I found that grape juice hides tincture taste so well, even oregano oil. Thank you so much, Rubba Girl. Thank you. I appreciate that. Followed. Thank you. Any help with vertigo? Yes, we talked about that. Definitely do some yoga. Definitely get yourself that cleanse, and I highly recommend a liver cleanse to get those adapters and everything cleared out, you guys. That's what's going on with vertigo. What about the book, The Holistic Guide to Wellness? Never heard of it. If it's awesome, let me know. I'd love to hear more about that, Gypsy Mom. Thank you so much. Good herbs for fibromyalgia. Please taking turmeric, ginger, cayenne pepper, and magnesium. Those are all fantastic for fibromyalgia. What are you experiencing specifically? I'd love to know that so I can pinpoint down a little bit more. If it's skin stuff, so you're doing... I definitely recommend adding dandelion in there, turmeric, ginger. Add in dandelion and burdock root if I were you, and then you got yourself a pretty good body cleanse going on. So I would think that you would be seeing some good results with that. User 7456635708225. Okay, let's see. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Stomach virus, please. So for stomach virus, I highly recommend colloidal silver. That's my #1 go-to. But to calm the stomach and keep it calmed down, of course, I recommend calendula, red clover, mullein, stinging nettles, one of the best ones to calm that self down. Stinging nettle is also really, really good for allergies. So if you're looking for something allergies for kids, I was going to make a stinging nettle extract. And holy cow, you guys, didn't I say I was going to strain some stuff? I'm going to strain some stuff. Let me get my strainer, and I'll be straining things for you in just a sec. Almost done. Okay. Empty. Thanks for bearing with me, guys. I appreciate it. Alright, so let's strain. I told you I'd strain. We can't make all this tincture and oil and not strain anything, alright? Okay, so here's what I have for straining. I'm going to use stainless steel strainer. Oh, not that one. That one had turmeric all over it. Darn it, now I got to get a new jar. Sorry. 1 second. Oh, I'll make it big. Why not? Okay. Excuse me, everyone. Okay, so I got a huge jar. We're not going to be straining anything this big, but I thought, oh well, here's a big jar. Okay. You're going to take a strainer that's clean. I'm sorry, a funnel that's clean. So I've got my funnel. I need an empty jar, right? Then I'm going to put on cheesecloth or one of these little strainer guys. They're so neat. They're very, very cool, very fine mesh. You can use that too. So either cheesecloth or a very fine mesh strainer. I like to put a sieve right over my funnel and then my mesh strainer over that. Or let's see, let's do it this way for this one. Okay. I'm going to take, what should we strain? Let's strain calendula tincture. Okay, so I've made a calendula tincture a while ago. I'm going to shake it up. Let's look to see when we made this one. It was brewed 9/25/21, you guys. 9/25/21 is when it was brewed. So I could have taken it out 6 weeks later if I wanted to. Or you can leave it in to make it even stronger. And that's what we did. So I don't like to strain. I like to keep as many things in a jar as I possibly can before I have to take them out, all right? That's the goal. So I love that. I'm hoping, I have some that are 5, 6 years old even. I want them to get like 30 years old. I want to be one that pops that sucker open. Okay, so let's pop this open after 2 years. Holy moly, watch out. So after 2 years, popping that open. Thank you, Kayla. It smells really good. Like, really good. You can still smell the vodka, but the calendula has made it an earthy sweet. If you know calendula and know how that smells, it's an earthy sweet. It smells really good. Oh, I'm excited about that. Woo-hoo. Haven't popped one open that's been so, sitting there for a while in such a long time. Okay, once I have my whole setup ready, I'm going to hold the jar with one hand. This gets harder with a bigger jar. I have a really cool twist down I'll bring for another video and show you. I showed it in one of my other lives. And you're going to hold it with this hand and just start pouring slowly into your jar. And your jar below, you just want to make sure is far bigger than your jar above. Okay? So make sure that you have room to really, really dump and squish and everything else, and then you can transfer this over into a smaller jar later. You just don't want too small of a jar and then you've spilled everything you've worked so hard for. Okay? You're eating Cheetos, what the heck? Ooh, tinctures? Yes, tincture. Okay. And I'm going to let this sit here, and you'll just let it sit, and it's going to do its thing. It's going to slowly, slowly strain out. With a tincture that has a lot of different plant material in it, like 11 or 12 plants combined into one, I would be double straining again with a cheesecloth. Why is that? Because a lot of those plants tend to use materials that are very, very tiny and go through my sieve and go through my little mesh even. And so I really want to be careful, use a cheesecloth and a coffee filter. I said a cheesecloth, didn't I? I meant a coffee filter. Cheesecloth and a coffee filter with it, okay? And that process, to do that sort of straining, takes a long time. You're going to be sitting there for an hour while all this strains, but it's worth it because you want to make sure to remove as much plant matter as you possibly can, okay? All right. So for bronchitis, I see that question, Mullein and Elecampane. Mullin's fantastic for bronchitis. I highly recommend it. The biggest thing I recommend, though, is colloidal silver and a holistic treatment of the world, colloidal silver. Guys, I am so excited for all of you joining this live and participating today. It has been so much fun. I have really had a good time. I hope you've had a good time. It's really made me want to do a lot more lives and continue to turn all these into tincture for you guys. So I want to do that on the next live as I'll continue to turn all these into tincture. So I hope you join me then. I like to do live pop-ups. I never know what I'm doing in my next live, so keep track of my TikTok channel. It's kind of just whenever I feel like it and whenever I can get the time to chat with you for a few hours. This live was the longest live I've ever been a part of. Thank you so much for sticking in with me. And I am going to answer a lot of your questions. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all your questions that you had during the live and I'm going to answer them on different videos. We'll get it set up and I hope you join me next time. I hope you start joining me and continue to join me because we have a lot of fun here. Thank you guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I feel nothing but love and nothing but health and happiness. So please enjoy the rest of your day and thank you guys so much. Health and happiness, much love, and until next time, guys, good luck and good health.